Alright, hello, hey, hi, hello everyone. Okay, so I'm trying out a bunch of stuff at the same time here, so please bear with me if stuff goes or starts going weird and stuff. But hello everyone, hi, good to meet you all new people here, and good to see you, all of you good old veterans that have been here for a while. Hi Joliver, hi Roman, Simoteus, oh my god, Simoteus, hello, welcome. I hadn't seen you here before, so I want to assume you're new here. Welcome, hello, hi. Turu, I think there's a new around here. Won't kill you, hello, hi. Okay, Tony side, yeah, we got. So this is not only the first time I'm streaming after all the whole debacle with releasing the video and stuff, it's also the first time I'm actually streaming at the same time on Twitch. So yeah, I hope it's working properly, and this is my first time doing it, so I'm pretty much prepared for stuff to go south any moment, but it seems like everything's working fine. We've got both chats right here, right next to me. It seems like they're working. They're too small for me to read, but at least they're moving, so I can just read stuff, I guess, in another window. Yeah, so I'm gonna be struggling with this. You're gonna be, hope you don't mind. I have streamed before on YouTube only. So I've streamed for a while on YouTube making, yeah, I see a question here from Cache4561. And yeah, they're asking if I've streamed before. I do have streamed before. I've streamed on YouTube a bunch of the process of how we made Evil Neuro and all of the animation, all that stuff. I have streamed that, but also I had never streamed on Twitch. I always wanted to do the multi-stream and Twitch and here, and it seems like we might have been able to do it. Also, let me know if the audio is, and I might consider lowering the music a little bit. And yeah, so I'm setting up a lot of stuff, hope you don't mind, but I'm trying to, move the channel forward, try to grow a little bit in more than one direction. I see some of you trying, well, that's the YouTube one. I still haven't sorted out how to put the little like emotes in chat. It seems like Twitch is working, but it seems like YouTube is not working. But yeah, we'll see that along the way. So anyway, hello everyone, welcome. I'm glad to see you. I'm happy to be here, happy to see there's been a very big reception to the video. I'm glad there's so much like support, and it's been very positive, and I feel like a lot of people liked what I did, and I'm very glad because it was a lot of work to make it. Okay, so it seems like Twitch can hear me just fine. I was wondering when I streamed. Yeah, the thing is, I released the video. I didn't even release it. I finished like editing the video and uploaded it to YouTube, but haven't fully released it right before a holiday. I was going on a trip with my family and stuff, so I just had everything set up and didn't release it. So yeah, I just released the video, and then I had this big pause, but it was a good pause because I had this time to figure out how people responded to the video. I could respond to comments, I could plan out a little bit of what I wanted to do. I did a couple of offline testing of how to do Twitch and multi-streaming and all that stuff, but I did most of that also today right before stream. But yeah, so that's also why I didn't stream in a while after releasing the video. I was just sort of like testing the waters. And yeah, also for all of those of you who are new here, I'm not a natural English speaker. I think I can do sort of a good job when it comes to speaking it, but it's not really, it's not my native tongue. So if I screw up, don't mind it. But yeah. What is that thing in the hand of Yarata? Oh, that's the Dragon Frame controller. So I'm gonna shut up for a second so you can see it. So that little rectangle you see in my chest is the controller that stop motion animators use for animating. It comes with, whenever you buy a license of the software, they'll give you this little controller, which is very handy because usually when you're animating, you're not close to the computer, you're close to the set and to the puppet. So you can have this in your hand and you can just press a couple of numbers and move forward and back and press enter and take a new frame, move to different windows, change settings, that sort of stuff. We do it pretty much everything with this little piece of technology that I've got right here. I mean, this is just like a little JPEG that I got for my little avatar thingy. But yeah, that's what it is. It's a Dragon Frame controller. It's one of the closest tools you'll ever see in the kit of any stop motion animator. English is definitely hard, Tony Isai 64. But yeah, so that's what I've got here. What is a thing? It's my first stream of genres. Welcome John Smith, I hope you enjoy it. It's a bit of an unusual stream. I don't have a lot of things planned for today. Usually what we do is, yeah, I guess I could start from there. What we usually do on the streams in here is actually work. I always have a camera around and try to capture what I'm working on. It could be like a new head or working on making new hands for the puppet. I try to share as much of the process as possible because I feel like it's pretty interesting, and it's also a very good way to actually make stuff instead of just disappearing for a year or more and then coming back with a new animation in a very, very long time. I think it's more useful like this. And also I really love the idea of trying to push the medium of stop motion animation forward. So if there's anyone who wants to learn, who doesn't know where to start, I love that. I love to share the process, share the things that I do, share the materials. I feel like there's no like trade secrets here. I just love sharing it. I don't know everything. I'm mostly an animator, but I do know my fair share around different materials, silicones, even a little bit of sewing, all that stuff. So I try to just yap about anything I'm working on, and yeah, just talk, show how things are done, share ideas. Sometimes I can hear your input and maybe think and different ideas of what to do, what new props to make, how to paint this, which color looks better. Yeah, it's a really fun experience. So however, this stream is not going to be like that because I do not have my camera set up. We're still in the middle of a couple of renovations. I think we might have our very first workshop, workshop after the video, the animation, on Sunday 21st of September. We're going to be doing our first stream, and I'm still not exactly sure what we're going to be doing. Most likely we're going to be setting some goals, evaluating Evil, her current state, how she looks, what went okay, what didn't go as well, what do we need to... Is that your hobby or your work? So it's a little bit of both, I guess. So here's the thing. I have worked professionally as a stop motion animator before. So I worked as a stop motion animator for a very long time in a big studio. In fact, there's a movie that's about to be released. If there's anyone near the LA area, I think there's a festival where the movie's going to be shown. It's called Soy Frankelda, or I Am Frankelda. It's going to be in a festival called Animation is Cinema or Animation is Film. But yeah, so I worked for a long time actually as an animator. So I wouldn't build any puppets. I would only work exclusively, like someone would arrive to me with a finished puppet into a finished set and tell me, hey, we need to animate this little guy and we need them to turn around, jump, make something cool and all that stuff. Can you take care of that? And I would do that. I would just move the puppet around, take pictures, but I always loved doing more stuff with well, yeah, doing more of the process. But where I worked most was as an animator, and yeah, in this movie you'll see me credited as an animator. So that's how I learned most of what I know. That's how I learned to make things like in a sort of professional level of quality. That's why I understand a lot of different materials, a lot of different techniques. I still need to learn a couple of things. I'm constantly trying to experiment and improve and all that stuff, but yeah, that's just how I got into it, or well, how I got to learn all about this, and that's why I kind of know it. And yeah, it's a little bit hard to answer if it's my hobby or my work, but yeah, it was my work for a while. Right now it's sort of my hobby, but I'm trying to make it my work. If the channel and our animations keep like growing enough, I might be able to make this sustainable. I've tried to do this before. I try to do like my own personal animations in my backyard every now and then, but when you're working full-time in another project, it's very hard to make something interesting. It takes too long and you don't make a lot of progress. And that's why lately I've been trying this little effort of actually making stuff full-time and trying to see how far can I push things by myself and I think it's starting to look promising. Still a couple of things we need to work on and I need to improve, but I like where it's going right now. I still have a little bit of hope that we can make this viable, and I can keep making this as sort of a full-time endeavor, and I can share the process and the stuff and make more stuff. I would love to be able to make, you know, more than one puppet a year. And I think we'll be able to do that, but right now it's just a lot of trial and error, improving, perfecting the technique, and we're close to making that progress that will allow us to actually make a lot of more stuff by ourselves, and maybe with a couple of little freelance work here and there. Joliver here is one of our viewers that has helped me a lot with a lot of 3D stuff. They're very, very talented when it comes to that, and we have sort of built this little system of, you know, asking each other out for help whenever it's needed, and they've helped me a lot. They made the thumbnail for Evil. Frankilda, it's coming out in October for me. Yes, it is coming in October 23rd. But I'm not sure if that's an international release. I believe it's not, but there's a couple of festivals where it's going to be. That's why I'm saying it's going to be in LA. I don't remember exactly what date, but it's going to be in LA. I think on October 1st or 2nd, something like that. But yeah, you plan making a puppet of Neurocar for your upcoming future projects. Neurocar, it could be interesting. It's one of those things that I wouldn't be able to put my finger on it, because making a Neurocar would be mostly like a 3D modeling work, or a 3D like finding a model online, which could be done, but it's not really my strong suit. So I could not promise you a Neurocar. I could try and we could see if it's possible, but the only things that I can promise you like entirely with my is the things that I can make with my own hands. So the thing that I'm moving more towards right now is, before making a Neurocar, we're gonna get started with actually making Neuro. But I mean, it could happen. A lot of the things that we've made here have been things that others have been asking for. For example, a little frog hat was one of the requests of our good friend Romanson, who might be here in the YouTube chat. Amogus. It's challenging. Is it challenging? It is definitely challenging. You see, the challenging thing is not only the making of it, it's that there's a lot of things that I haven't like fully. Well, for starters, I feel like there's no set in stone way of making a puppet. Every character is different, and they have different requests, different technical difficulties that they might have. But I feel like I'm still trying to improve what can't be done, and it's a little bit tricky. You need to sort out a bunch of stuff, and I still want to perfect the technique a bit. I'm in both chats. There he is. Roman Zone, yeah. Tony Sai, yes. So many new people. Yes, hi Toby, hello, welcome to Twitch. I hadn't seen you around, and now you're in Twitch. That's cool. Hello. So it's challenging doing full puppet. Yeah, I mean, it is very challenging. Neuro herself, or Evil, she took about 6 or so months to create. I had to build her. I had to make adjustments to the clothing, to the eyes. Everything began because I wanted to test making a character with an internal eye socket that could move around. So that was just the general idea of how I wanted to make, why I wanted to make a character, and I just ended up stumbling into a Neuro. It wasn't even Evil, it was a Neuro-sama 3D model, and I was like, hey, maybe I can tweak this, and it could be a good way to get started and test out the limitations of the material. And yeah, that's what we've been doing, and that's what led us here. I mean, I already spent so much effort making the puppet, I wasn't just gonna let it be and not animate it. And yeah, in the meantime, I started to get like involved with the Swarm community, watching streams, having fun. And yeah, because I started enjoying it, I feel like I could make more of an honest thing when it came to animating her, you know, understanding the character. Something important when you're animating is making a big effort trying to understand the characters themselves, you know? And I think, yeah, I try and... Why do you have glasses but no eyes? Are they invisible? Yeah, my eyes are completely invisible. I think that's more of a creative license that I took. I don't know, I liked the minimalist look, not having eyes, and also I'm not very good at drawing and making stuff. This avatar is not actually my creation. This is a painting. It's called the Actor or something like that. And it's a painting that was made a very long time ago, like, I don't know, 70 or so years ago, by... When did you become a Swarm member? Around the more or less around the last subathon. But yeah, so the avatar that I use is this painting that's made by a very famous stop motion animator that I'm a very big fan of. He was a Czech animator called Jiri Trinka, and I was just googling stuff made by him, and I found this little painting, and I was like, hey, it looks a lot like me. Maybe I'll just add some glasses and, I don't know, maybe a Dragon Frame controller, and that's how I came to be. And it's been fun. I like it a lot, but it's, yeah, I mean, not really my design. It's just something I made because I thought it was cool and funny. Have you made a puppet that looks like your mom? Not yet. I've been thinking of making my own puppet, but the thing is, if making my own puppet, it's gonna take me, you know, about 3 or 4 months. I'd rather right now focus on making... What's the thing I'm holding? This is a Dragon Frame controller. The Dragon Frame controller is a device that we use for stop motion animation. It comes with our... So yeah, it comes with the license of the software, and it's very useful whenever you're making anything on YouTube. So yeah, that's just as Roman says. That's when I possessed the little painting, and now I take control of the painting, and I move it around, and you know, use it for my streams as a. It's a good, simple little alternative. The thing is, I cannot spend too much time working on my own, how do I say this, like stream assets. I'd rather spend more of my time working on actually making puppets right now, but I feel like once I get the hang of it, we might be able to actually make our own fun stuff for the channel itself, and not only like fan art and stuff. So let me see, I think I skipped a couple. When I have no glasses but I have no eyes. Yeah, so that's why. Pretty much a painting that came to life. The spirit of a long lost great animator. When you become a Swarm member, when did you become a Swarm member? Yeah, around the subathon, I think. I did know about Neuro a little bit. I had seen her. The first thing ever I saw with Neuro was her Shocking Filion, I believe. And at first I didn't even think she was, you know, an AI. I just thought, it was a very clever idea. I thought, hey, this guy is a VTuber, but because he uses like a simple turtle character, and instead he uses an anime girl to just read chat. And I thought it was more than an AI, it was just a bot reading chat out loud. But... And yeah, later on I started like getting into it and realizing that no, she's actually an AI and she makes her own decisions and she's pretty weird and all that stuff. And there's also her sister, blah, 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 blah. That's how everything came to be. It was fun. It was a pretty interesting experience, I would say. And yeah, that's how it came to be. Yeah, bit by bit I just got like more involved in Swarm and stuff. I really like it. What's the height of the evil puppet? Huh. She's about 35 centimeters tall. So I'm not exactly sure. I remember I tried to see Evil and Neuro's, well, because when in the beginning I thought it would be Neuro, and in the end I ended up changing it to Evil. I did remember looking for her height. Sorry to all our American viewers, but I work in real numbers and not in inches or whatever that is. So she's about 35 centimeters tall, but I also tried to keep it in a certain proportion. I'm not sure if I managed to actually... Is Evil's back still broken? Yes, it is very broken. And we're gonna have to check it out probably... Yeah, this Sunday I want to make a stream where we actually take like a hands-on look at how she's doing, what's wrong with her. But I'll be honest, most likely we are not gonna be fixing her. We are actually, what's the height post hip destruction? Yeah, it's pretty much the same height. She's just unstable now. But yeah, we're not actually gonna be fixing her. We're actually going to make a new one from scratch, I believe, because there's a bunch of stuff I would like to perfect and improve, and I think it's a good chance to do it instead of, I wouldn't like to have a very good, very functional Neurosama and a very scuffed up, torn down little evil. I would rather have them both in a decent state, so I think we're gonna have to try. Yeah, thanks for the conversion there. It's Aiden, very helpful, because I don't know I don't know squat about inches and all those weird units other people use. So yeah, Evil's gonna have her surgery. As I told you, it's gonna be a surgery, but it's not actually gonna be to fix things. It's gonna be to break her down and see what went wrong, what things need to be fixed, what things need to be improved. And we're probably gonna start over instead of actually fixing the one that's already there. Are you gonna make both new puppets? Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much they work with the same molds, so I think it's not gonna be very challenging to make them both at the same time. I mean, visually they're the same. Yeah, it's more of an autopsy, but it sounds very dark when I say call it an autopsy. That's why I wanted to keep it a surgery for the time being. I wouldn't like to put autopsy in the in the video, like subscribe so I can make evil an out. Yes, I could give Neuro an evil. I could give you an autopsy. That would be a little bit creepy, a little bit morbid. But yeah, it's pretty much that's gonna be the idea. But we're gonna make a new one improved one. Wait, I saw another question around here that I did not follow. Height Frank. When you said around the subathon, which one was it? The one when Neuro was in V2 Mother or 3V? This January, I would say. Like the big record breaking, the face of superiority subathon. Does that answer the question? I don't know a lot about sort of the lore to tell you like if it was V1, V2, V3, but it's the last one, I think. But yeah, so we're gonna have the little autopsy. Evil's gonna have her surgery. We're gonna check out what went wrong, how did it break, how are we gonna improve it, and then it's gonna be, yeah, I mean, fun trying to sort things out, trying to improve our work, and hopefully, the thing is, right now I'm still figuring stuff out. Oh, hey, here's cheap view. Oh, nah. There's like a spam thing in Twitch. Yay. What's the next buffer after you're done with the Neuro puppet? I don't know. Like, the possibilities are endless, as she would say, but I'm not certain because, I mean, anything could change. I feel like I could work. It's a little bit hard to put my finger on. Hello, Knobnuts. Welcome. Don't worry. It's never too late. Welcome, Knobnuts. How you doing? I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing because the VTubing world moves very fast, very quickly, and I need to concentrate on what I'm doing right now, which is going to be Neuro, but I'm not sure if Neuro is going to be taking 2 months or 5 months or 12 months, and who knows what the landscape's going to look like once I finish. I remember when I started working on Evil, and when I started streaming, I don't think I said it out loud, but I did think a couple of times, hey, you know what would be fun? Once I finished working on Evil and Neuro, maybe I could make a Gargura figure, because she's very cool and very talented, and I really love the character, and it's really funny and all that stuff. And it turns out that Gargura isn't here anymore, which is a little bit sad, but you know, things move on. But yeah, you see the landscape, it moves a lot. It's hard to pinpoint and tell you, hey, I want to make this character in particular right when I finish doing the animation or the next puppet. It's a little bit hard to pinpoint it because everything could change in any moment. I do have a couple of ideas, a couple of good candidates, but I wouldn't like to set things in stone until I have like something more certain. You know what's something I could tell you? I would love if the next puppet I make after Evil and Neuro, well, there's one like half a puppet that I've been thinking of making that could be Vettel. Like making a little Vettel puppet would be fun. 07 Gura, indeed, Roman. But yeah, a Vettel puppet would be fun. Saba would be interesting. I've thought a lot about Saba, especially because if I made a Saba puppet, it would be like one of the only puppets I can make that are actually life-size, because as we all know, Saba measures in her ID, it says that she's 35 centimeters tall, which is pretty much the size of a puppet, so we could have a life-sized Saba puppet to make, which would be incredibly fun. Question, who will like Gura or Saba? I like them both, they're great. I just miss Gura, but Saba is pretty neat, she's cool. And well, Saba was Gura, wait, I got lost with the autopsy next puppet. But yeah, so one thing that I think could be very fun, rather than just making anything, is if I manage to make, I would love to make Chibidoki. That's also a very good option to make. Chibidoki would be hilarious. It's a whole different process because I would have to make like a very big head, and it's gonna be a very interesting. I have made, well, I didn't make them, I did animate some puppets with very large head when I was working for a couple of ads before. So I do have experience, I feel like I'm capable of making a Chibidoki, but well, the thing is, what I would love to happen is that whichever puppet I make next after Neuron Evil is actually a puppet that is approved by the content creator. I would love to have, you know, like some like little poll on Twitter or something like, hey, if anyone wants their own puppet to be made, please contact me, I would love to. And that would be very fun, because I feel like if we do that, I could have voice lines that have been recorded for the animation, not having to scavenge voice lines from other streams. And that would be very fun. Like, hey, I can make a puppet of you. What about you record a couple of lines and we can make like a little skit, or maybe you want to make a fraction of a music video, that sort of stuff. Having like direct contact with a creator and trying to work together to make an awesome product, that would be my dream. So I think that would be a great way to decide who would be our next little victim in the workshop and to become a good old puppet. Now, on that note, the thing is, and the reason why I'm trying to work so hard on Neuro and Evil right now is because I want to nail down the little details. I feel like if we find a way to streamline the process, to make things easier to make, faster and all that stuff, we can hopefully start making more puppets faster and not have to wait like so long to get one single puppet done. Right now it's a lot of research and development. It's a lot of, we need to work it, I'm gonna screw up, I have to restart, I have to do stuff again, this is not working, I need different material, I need something harder, I need something softer, I need something that's more resilient, all that stuff. But it's gonna be worth it. Once we find like sort of a streamlined process, I think it's gonna be much more likely that we can actually make a lot more stuff in, you know, a year or something. So let me go back to the comments. I saw a couple of Chibidoki when, someday, hopefully. I really want to make pretty much everyone. There's so many awesome VTubers out there that I would always, whenever I see someone, I just think, hey, how would it be fun to animate this or that, or the assets that they have, or oh my god, how would I animate a tail with this sort of character because the tail is huge. You know, I love doing that. I just love thinking about all the possibilities and things. But yeah, I don't have still like a very tight schedule on that. Right now the big tight schedule is Neuro, and we'll see where it goes from there, because anything could happen at that time. The way you animated the video reminds me of the puppet movie I watched when I was young, but I don't know the name. There's not that many puppets movies, so maybe we can find it after a couple of talking here and there, and someone is gonna be someone could say, hey, I know that movie, that's Jim and the Giant Peach or something like that. But I think that movie you're saying would probably not be that hard to find. All right, let's go to Nobot's comment. Wanted to say also, I love your stuff. Was dating a girl who took college class for puppetry. Oh, college class, and she hated it. I ended up doing all her work and submitting it. I pray. Okay, so you are a puppet maker, I guess. Then, I mean, yeah, I know puppet making is not for everyone. I want to give the information, have it like available for anyone who would love to learn, but at the same time, you don't need to want to make a puppet to enjoy the process. Like, there's a lot of fun in watching some random guy in the internet making something while you're doing homework or, I don't know, doing your own stuff. It's just I like the company. That's something that's helped me a lot here, because being in silence, like scratching a little piece of plastic for days and days, it can be a little bit taxing on yourself or on myself. And yeah, having a little chat to where I can look at and say, hey, how are you doing? Hey, how's this going? Hey, it's cool. Is it possible to 3D print puppets? Most of Evil is 3D printed, you know? It's not like you cannot press Ctrl P and print a puppet, because, well, maybe it could be done in the future, but it's very tough. It's not really reliable. But yeah, many of the pieces that Evil has, they were made in a 3D printer. It's just, you need to work in how are you splitting the model, which parts are made with what material, what do you have under the hood of those materials. That's sort of the thing that I'm trying to work on most right now, because 3D printing is like the key of what helps me make this stuff by myself. I feel like making Evil, as you saw her, would have taken the work of 5 people in a professional studio. And here I managed with the 3D printing to make the process a little bit easier and faster for me. I could spend less time sculpting and more time printing, and that could let me move on into the structure bits and the more of the arranging the pieces part. So 3D printing does open like a very, very big range of possibilities, and I still feel like we haven't even explored the full thing. I want to improve, I want to make sure we make the best stuff we can, but I want to test the limits of the technology. But yeah, it is. I'm not sure if it's possible to print like a full-on puppet, because a puppet is made of many pieces, and 3D printing is best at printing like a single thing. But yeah, most of what you see with Evil is 3D printed. It's just that it's not only 3D printed and it's done. It's 3D printed, then sanded, then I make a mold, then I cast that mold, and I make a bunch of different pieces out of the same mold. It's a lot of coming and going. But yeah, most of Evil was made in 3D. How much does it cost to make one puppet? So price-wise, if you are sort of careful with what you're doing, it's not that costly, I believe. I feel like you could make a fairly decent puppet with about, I'm gonna say sort of a random number because I'm not really making like very precise counts, but I don't think you'll need more than $200 to make a proper puppet. The thing is, what the big investment in making a puppet is the time. There's a lot of time involved in making a puppet. It's working for months and months and having stuff explode and having to start over and redoing things. It's very hard. It's a lot of time, and that's like the biggest investment you'll do. But it's not that expensive. I mean, and I try to use sort of like less pricey materials, but I feel like even if I went for like the very, very expensive materials that are out there, I could keep it fairly low, because you don't use as much. Like silicone, I believe Evil shouldn't have more than 300 grams of silicone in her. Resin, which is one of the cheapest materials, depends on which one you buy, but in general they're cheaper than silicones. I don't think she has about, I would say about 500 grams tops, because I'm considering like every single mouth different piece that weighs its own thing. But yeah, is it possible? I wouldn't say that a lot of romance, but years worth of work lets me appreciate it. Oh, so you're a fellow animator, nice. I'll say that. Okay, but yours of all lets me appreciate. I mean, that's good enough. You're always welcome here. It doesn't matter if you want to animate or not, but if you enjoy the process, or if you enjoy the craft, if you enjoy the art form, you're always welcome here. Not buts. It's like a tongue twister, your name. What 3D printer do you use? I've got 3 3D printers. I've got one filament printer, which is an Anycubic Cobra 2 Neo, which is like one of the cheapest filament printers you could find out there, that's like pre-built and good enough for like a starting level. It was actually like the first FDM printer I got, so I was sort of trying something new. And I do have one 3D printer that is like one resin 3D printer, which is an Anycubic Photon S. Wait. Let me adjust the volume of the music a little bit because I'm getting a little bit distracted with these sick beats. But yeah, Anycubic Photon S. It's a very old resin printer, but it works fine and it gets the job done. That's where I made most of Evil, most of what you see in Evil. And I recently bought, thanks to the channel actually, because we made like a little entrance for a contest and we won a little bit of a discount, I ended up buying a new huge printer. It's called an Anycubic 3D, M7 III Max? What? M7, I think it's just M7 Max. It's one of the newest ones out there, and it's like the biggest printing volume you'll get for a 3D resin printer that's not like skyrocketing into the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of price. But yeah. And what 3D printer do you use? Do you watch puppet channels on YouTube? Or an archive of inspiration of favorites? I haven't seen a lot of puppet channels themselves. That's also like one of the reasons I'm trying to make this, because I feel like I've tried to find tutorials on how to make stuff, but it's kind of bare bones and you're like scrapping from an old video here, an old video there, but there's not like a cohesive like step-by-step guide. So maybe that's why another thing that pushed me to trying to make this. But there's a couple of channels that I do follow that I like a lot. First of all, always amazing, the good old Craftsman. The Craftsman's channel has taught me a lot of really cool stuff. They're very, very, very talented when it comes to materials and to understanding different processes and working with stuff, and they're very good at explaining things and how to make something, how to paint, how to move, how to it's really good. It's really, really good. And there was this other channel, so your question got me a little bit off my feet, but there was this other channel which is like an old man who makes resin molds. But man, I think he used to make toys for like Disney and stuff, but he's got such good experience for making resin molds, like incredibly complex resin molds for like skeleton, like dinosaur bones and that sort of stuff. And their channel is filled with neat tricks of how to make. Hiyori-sama, hello, hey, thank you for congratulating me on the 3,000 subs. I'm pretty happy for it, so thank you very much. I'm glad we reached 3,000 so soon. It's very impressive. I didn't expect that. It's been very cool. But yeah, so there's that other channel of an old man who does very interesting stuff, very complex molds. I feel like it's a channel that wouldn't feel very entertaining if you don't like live and breathe the mold making process, but once you understand it, that guy's like a magician. It's like, hey, I'm gonna make this incredibly, he just grabs like a little T-Rex skull and I just see it and it's like, there's no way you can just not make a mold out of this. There's no geometrical way to make a mold out of this piece, and he just makes it easy peasy, no problem. It's just a couple of cuts here, maybe a little bit of a twist there, and there you go, a very perfect mold instantly. And it's just insane. I don't know the name of the channel though. I'm gonna try to search for it and I'll share it with you later, I guess. But man, that channel really pumps me up whenever it comes to mold making in general. So I'm not sure if there's any other channel, like process making channel, that I can like put my finger on. I do like channels that make puppet animation. Like there's Panzahat, who makes really silly, very Discord humor kind of videos, and they're very good, like fairly well made. It's more of like a kid bashing of toys and figures and anime things, but the animation is really cool, and the storytelling is very, like, it's a little bit hard to make. You just saw it. It took me 8 months to make a 5-minute clip of random bits. Actually making like a coherent story that's 10-12 minutes long, that's very thanks for letting me pick your brain. Oh, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. So please feel free to do it as much as you like. I really love chatting, yapping, and talking about all sorts of things when we're here. That's what I love about the workshop. It's pretty cool. We make fun stuff, and at the same time we just, hang out and talk. But yeah, Panzahat's really cool. There's this other channel, I think in YouTube, they have different names. In Instagram, they're called Hannibal Saikaku, but in YouTube, I believe their channel name is Animist. It's also like a 2D, no, not 2D, like a kid bashing, like anime figures, but the quality of the animation in Animist's content is absurd, completely absurd. It's just the best. I think it's hands down the best stop motion animation I've seen on the internet, in movement wise and snappiness wise. It's very clean, very perfect, very well made. I mean, I've seen a couple of interesting stuff, but they're usually like productions that were made, but like as an independent channel / artist that makes their own stuff, I believe Animist would be very high there when it comes to the quality of the animation itself, of the movement of the puppets, of the action. So they're really good. I know about Kevin Parry. He's also a very talented animator. I don't know if he has a lot of stuff on YouTube. I think he moves mostly on Instagram, but they're very good at making not only stop motion, but they make a lot of really fun, like, kind of practical effects with or like video effects. I don't know. It's a very unusual kind of content, but they're very good. He's very good at making interesting stuff, and whenever you see an animation, that guy works at Laika, so Laika is like the biggest stop motion studio out there, and yeah, I mean, totally, you can see how well he works, because yeah, the quality of his work is pretty much Laika quality things. But at the same time, I believe that because of what I said before, he doesn't have as much time to make like little things. He usually makes like fun little skits and short clips with very nice, cool effects, and yeah, that's pretty much what you're gonna see from him for maybe a couple of months. So he pops in and out, but he's really good. Yeah, and Kevin Parry is really good. There's this other animator who also know a lot from Instagram. What was his name? I think his name is Justin Rash. Not sure if I'm pronouncing. What makes quality? FPS? No, FPS has nothing to do with quality. I mean, FPS can help you make fun stuff, but it's, I think what helps you the most is having a nice sensibility for animation. And the only thing that will get you a good sensibility is animating again and again and again, understanding movement, how to make something snappy. Like some of the best animations I've seen, they don't actually have like a lot of in-betweens. It's just very well crafted, like keyframes, and maybe just a little bit of an accent with an overshoot, or a little bit of a snapback of a wrist, or that sort of stuff. I don't believe it's bound to how many frames per second you do your animation, But frames per second is a good tool for rhythm. So having different frame rates can help you make things feel more natural or more unnatural, and it will give you like different textures to your character. It can drive your attention, make you look at one specific thing because you're playing with the frame rate. It's very interesting. Like the dynamics behind frame rates is very interesting. There is, I believe, a point where if you go like below 6 frames per second, I think it starts to feel choppy and like an animatic, but you can make that work too. For example, I mean, it's not really like it's a low frame rate, but if you've seen this little pilot out there called Puzzle and Sling, it's like an animation project that somebody did, and it's out there on YouTube. And the stop motion animation is very snappy and from one point to the other, but it's got faces that have 2D animation on top, so that helps complement the thing, and it feels, I don't know, coherent. So it's not really about frame rate, it's more about, you know, understanding when it's best to use more or less frames, that sort of stuff, which is something that you don't really know how to do straight from the start. It's a lot of practice here and there. It's Adian. I've heard the term easing in and out in animation, which I think was making the beginning movement slower and the end faster. Is that correct? Or comment? Yeah. It's pretty much the basics. So if you've ever seen AI animation, you'll see how it makes very weird decisions, especially when it comes to that, to easing in and easing out. Because a computer is really good at figuring out every step of the way from point A to point B, but things don't usually move in a straight pattern. It's Honey makes animatics, and they're really, yeah, Honey is amazing when it comes to anime, but that's because she makes very expressive poses, very intense, very big, bold faces. It's like there's so much information in a single frame on Honey's animatics that your brain fills everything else, and it fills all the gaps between how she's acting and how she's moving. It's like, it's so good that people can animate the thing in their own brains whenever they see such a good animatic. But yeah, Honey's great at doing animatics. I really love her work. But yeah, easing in and easing out, it's like this part of making your animation a little bit more organic. It's making it helps you a lot. It's a very simple thing, but it's very hard to master. Like, in the concept, it's very simple, but only animating you'll realize how complex it can get, because there's a bunch of different, there's not like a single way to ease in and ease out. There's like a bunch of movements that get like overlapped one on top of the other. You've got the movement of the wrist, but how does the movement of the wrist affect the fingers, and how is the movement of the fingers, or how is the movement of the fingers affected by the movement of the elbow and by the movement of the shoulder? And that makes a very complex movement that it's very hard to emulate when you don't know how to make it more natural. But we do have like a little instinct on how stuff moves naturally because we see people moving all the time. But yeah, it's a pretty common technique. I could elaborate and ramble about it for hours and hours, but that's the sort of thing that would be easiest for me to actually explain on a stream that at least has a camera on it, so I could actually vaguely show you what I mean. But yeah, I mean, easing in and easing out is basic fundamentals of animation, and it's not like you just need to learn about it and you'll get the hang of it. You need to practice it. You need to do it again and again and again, and one day your brain will just click, like, oh, now I get it. This is why it's helpful to do the ease in and ease out. Alright, so Horsehead Studios, learning ease in and ease out was game-changing for animation, especially in action. Yes, especially with action, heavy movement and quick stuff. It helps you make stuff much more readable, because if you're only filling the gaps between each frame, and you're doing something that's very, very fast, your usually brains are not going to be able to comprehend all the complexities of the motion. But it's not quite easy in and it's out, but it's the same. I feel like it's a similar concept with what happens with smear frames and that kind of thing. Sometimes it's much easier to read like a big crazy blob of black moving instead of a sword moving perfectly frame by frame, because it's easier for the brain to process. It's like all the information gets like reduced to a frame that you could even use the same frame for like 2 or 3 frames, and it's much more digestible and snappier and fun to read, because the way you share the information to the audience is much palatable, I would say. But easy and it's out. It's something that it's something that I feel like you never stop learning, actually. Horsehead Studios. Honestly, I'm not sure. Might have seen your animation, but I do not recognize you by name. Sorry about that. I'm terrible with names. So Horsehead Animations. Wait, can I? I'm curious now. Oh, whoa, you make stop motion. That's really cool. Wait, have we seen your animations on this channel? I'm not sure. Because there's every now and then we make streams where people can share with me. Mainly Transformer stuff. Yeah, I was looking at you too. There were a lot of Transformers and Godzilla. I'm not sure if we've seen stuff by you, because every now and then we make like streams where people can share in the Discord fun stop motion things or animation things that they like. Oh, by the way, there's like a 3 that Blue sent, and I'm not sure what that means. So Blue, if you ever want to elaborate, I'll gladly answer your question, but I'm not sure what you meant with 3. Sometimes the latency makes me forget whatever's going on. But yeah, it was really cool. Maybe we can take a look someday to our animations live on stream. It's fun. I really like doing that. We've been doing that with... We haven't. I'm new here. I found you through the Evil Nero animation. Yeah, I'm glad you did. But yeah, so every now and then, sometimes we have like nights where we look at stuff, and it's cool. It's just hanging out, looking at stuff. I really love everyone here. Roman's gonna be my witness that I always like love to pause things and frame by frame everything and say like, hey, can you see how the little detail they made here in this little in between? You can see how the wrist pops back and in before it snaps back. I'm just a big nerd when it comes to that stuff. It's my stuff. It's my jam. I love movement. I love making interesting movements. So, but yeah, if you ever want, it will be fun to look at your stuff here. Delphine can also confirm, yes. No, Delphine, I hadn't seen you. Maybe I had just seen you and... No, yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, the autopsy comment. Huh. Congratulations. Waffy, hello, Waffy. Welcome. Hello. Hello, Twitch chat. Yeah, there's also Twitch chat here. This is my first time streaming on Twitch. So, by the way, if I could ask you like well, I don't know. It's a weird thing to ask, but right now, I would appreciate if whoever's capable of, doing more than one... or whoever has to choose between one or other streaming service, if for now you stuck to YouTube the most, because we are on our way and we're getting very close to actually monetizing with the amount of watch time that we've got. But that's like the biggest, frontier for us to surpass. So if anyone here has like the chance to do either one or the other, or has to make the choice, for now, for probably the next couple of weeks, or maybe the next month or something like that, please consider giving YouTube a priority, just because it will help our community a lot. But it's not, Twitch is out there for something. I also want that to grow and make stuff, but I'm trying. I don't know, I'm testing a lot of stuff here, I'm barely getting started. And I always told my old viewers that I'm pretty good when it comes to making puppets and animation and fun little stuff, but I'm pretty much like a very old grandpa when it comes to actually setting up a stream and making all this digital stuff and what on earth is a 7TV, and I'm still struggling with that, but I've been learning. We've been improving a lot. You'll see in my first streams it was just a complete mess, and now we're starting to get a little bit more of the hang of it. And yeah, we've been slowly but surely making some progress in that area. But yeah, so just wanted to give that little disclaimer that if you could choose, or if you need to choose between one streaming or the other, for now I would appreciate a lot if you stayed on YouTube, because YouTube, I hope Twitch doesn't get me banned for saying this out loud. I'm not sure if there's like some prohibition, but just for now, just the time it takes us to reach the partnership watch time, which we're not very far away. We're about a little bit more than halfway through, so we will make it soon. Especially now, this is the first time we've had this many viewers on YouTube, so we might be able to actually make, yeah, some very interesting progress there. Doubt, but wait, I'm getting outnumbered by the chat. Can also confirm, congratulations, we love that. Cool, be sure to stick around. Awesome, thank you, Horsehead Studio, it's really fun. I'll take a look at your content once the stream is over. I think it'll be fun. Sounds good. Also, my Twitch account name is less catchy than sayable. It's cool. They'll take care. It's fine. I just wanted to make a little disclaimer, but it's not really set in stone. That's still progress, even when it's messy. It is. It is. We've been moving on pretty well. Things are growing. By the way, I'm not sure if they're out here, but I would like to give a very, very big shout out to our very first Patreon supporter, which is Slade. I had their name put out there in the stream starting soon screen, but I think it would be fun to actually just give a little shout out. I haven't seen any name similar to Slade in the chat, but I just wanted to thank you very wholeheartedly. I mean, it's the first, single like penny I've seen. Slade, exactly, Slade. It's the first penny I've seen out of this whole endeavor, so I'm very happy, very proud to be able to be supported by people out there, and just wanted to give a big thank you. I'm not sure if it's someone who would like to stay, not very how to say, present in the chat or that sort of stuff, but just wanted to give a very, very big thank you and a very big shout out to Slade for being the first person to ever actually to ever contribute like actual money to the cause. That's just crazy. And yeah, their first Patreon supporter, which is incredible. But yeah, oh nice, Slade slaying. So what else could we talk about? So I wanted to talk to you about the future of what we're doing. Okay, here's some little context that maybe a lot of you who are new here do not have, and it's pretty funny. Funny, but the thing is, the studio where we were actually doing all the evil animation, that studio is dead now. It's closed. So our first workshop, we had to close it down because of some corporate stuff that made my life a little bit of a hell. And for the last couple of weeks, I would say for the last month or so, I've been moving everything to a new studio, which, well, it's more like a home studio. I used to have like my own studio space where I would make my own animation, but because there was like this corporate stuff problems that it's a little bit hard to get into detail about, I had to move everything out, I had to pick everything up, I have to pack everything, and yeah, besides making the video, everything's been very chaotic because it's been a lot of moving stuff around, building furniture, but we're very close. I mean, there's still a couple of things I want to get sorted out, but I feel like, we can get started with our workshop streams soon with our brand new workshop 2.0. However, one little thing that happens, and that the thing that, at least to me, it's like what's how do you say this? How that makes me the thing I'm gonna miss most about the other workshops, not really the working space itself. It's gonna be the animation space, because I really liked the background that you have in most of the evil video, with the very cool, very warm brick background, which were actually fake bricks in an office. And yeah, we are, unfortunately, we lost that, and I'm gonna have to sort of find a way to make a new set that's like good enough for us to animate and make stuff. But yeah, that's like the biggest loss from our past workshop. But I don't know, I mean, I feel like with some work and a little bit of elbow grease, we can make something fun and interesting with our new space. And in the meantime, we've got plenty of time to first work in the making of the stuff. At least you got a new studio, better than no studio. Yeah, I mean, I had to sort of find a way to make it, but yeah, I'm very happy that I can move on. It's a little bit rougher than how it was before, but so long story short, the place where I was working before, well, not the animation studio where I was making the movie, but I had like a little sort of a freelance side job before this, and I had made sort of an arrangement where I would have sort of like free spare time during the week, and that spare time I would spend in the workshop. Now that I'm not working for those people anymore and I'm more like running it out for myself, the good thing now is that I can actually sort of spend most of my time working on, workshop stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not going to be able to do this forever if things don't start to flourish, but seeing how things have progressed and how everything's turning out, I believe it's not going to be very hard for us to start making this. I mean, I'm not looking for millions here. I just need to make stuff sustainable so I can keep working full time in making stuff for you guys. I feel like it's not impossible, but it's definitely a challenge. But yeah, I would like that to happen, and one of my efforts for trying to make that happen is that after finishing this little job, I've saved some money, and I'm gonna try to actually spend full time working on Neuro, on the set, on this sort of streams, and try to stream as much as possible for as long as I can. I mean, I'm gonna be working anyway, so why don't I just stream while I work? It's not a big difference to me, and it's a very big difference to the channel and to our content and to everything. So that's pretty much the general output that we're going to be having right now. I do not think that it's healthy for others to be hanging out here for 11-hour streams every day, but I think it's just fun to keep it going, and maybe once in a while you can pop in, say hi, comment something, ask what's going on, what have we been working on, and then just pop in, pop out, that sort of stuff. But I'll be here working, so it's gonna be fun. Figuring out the space needed for animating is very tricky. Yeah, spaces can be very interesting when it comes to animation, especially because you think you only need the space for animation, but that's not it. You need the space for the camera, the space for lights, the space for all that stuff. It piles up really soon. I do have a couple of ideas of how we can sort stuff out, but there's still a lot of work to be done in order to actually, make it possible. But I think we're gonna be able to do that. And Scribbly Head, hello. Will you be making a tutorial video for making puppets? When have you figured the process out? Yes, I've been thinking about that. So here's the thing. I would love to do that. I'm just a little bit terrible at editing. And if it comes to me, I would rather, keep making puppets rather than edit a video tutorial on how to make stuff. But I would like to spend that little effort to actually make it someday. I would love to first finish nailing down like all the things that are still rough around the edges, finding like the best process. And I would even love to make like, different variations of a tutorial. If I don't know how to explain that. I would love to make sort of like a beginner, intermediate, and advanced sort of tutorial. So if there's someone who just wants to make fun stuff with their Legos, I have something for them to get started. But at the same time, if someone actually wants to go all out into buying silicone and learning how to cast resin and making molds, they can also learn how to do that stuff too. I would like to sort of cover all of the range so that everyone can do, or anyone who comes into a channel can learn how to do either the simplest stop motion animation or the highest quality thing that can be done. But it's gonna be, I mean, that's gonna be a long process. It's gonna be a lot of, I still need to figure stuff out. Editing would take a lot of time. I would love to make things, you know, as straightforward as possible. But yeah, would definitely love to make that in the future. In the meantime, a good little replacement for that, I believe, is this sort of streams where you can join and ask me, hey, what are you doing? Oh, you know, I'm sanding this little mouth. Why are you sanding the mouth? Oh, because I casted this in resin and the resin leaves these little marks and I want to get rid of the marks because it's going to look weird in the final piece, that sort of stuff. So I think through dialogue, I can help people learn in the time that it takes me to actually maybe make a proper tutorial, proper like process video that could push more people to making stuff. That's also something I love, or something that's a really big goal of mine. I would love to see more people making this kind of stuff, because I feel like even though like 2D and 3D has been growing a lot in the indie space, like you'll see amazing stuff. Glitch Media is doing great stuff. You've got VC Pups also making insane things. Lackadaisy, I don't know. Like indie animation is growing a lot, and I think a lot of that has to do with that there's a lot of drawing tutorials, animation tutorials, 3D tutorials out there, but there's not that much stop motion stuff. And I would love to just try and push more people to make this stuff, so in the future we can actually see more stop motion, like very cool stop motion things made by people all around the world. It's something that really drives me forward. Like I like making my own stuff, but I also like helping others make their own very cool stuff. I know very well about space. Huh, interesting. Especially because it's not only the thing being animated taking space. Yes, not only the thing being animated, it's also the camera takes space. You as an animator, you take space. When I worked in the movies and TV shows that I've been working, that I worked like years ago, it was a very big problem when they didn't take into account the animator as, you know, a mass occupying unit. Because like, hey, so the camera is pretty close to the set, and then the puppet is pretty close to the camera, and then the wall is pretty close to the puppet. How are you expecting me to animate this? I don't know, just animate. There's no way. I cannot put my hands through the sets. I cannot make anything. And yeah, there's usually a lot of oversight when it comes to people arranging stuff for you, but that's the good stuff. The good thing of having to set up the things by myself, that I can decide, okay, we're gonna do this, I'm gonna try to do that, if this is too far away, this is too close, what if we do this, what if we do that. It's gonna be also a lot of trial and error, but I feel like we could make some interesting stuff here. Animating, taking space, props and sets and backdrops also take, yeah, props, well, yeah, props. The sets are definitely an issue. Like, I feel like sometimes you need to design the set to the amount of space that you have. Because as much as I would love to make, I don't know, some giant mountain or auditorium for a set, I do not have the equivalent space of an auditorium in a 1:5 scale here. So yeah, at least what helps me is to think it the other way around. Like, okay, if I have a table with 136 centimeters space, what would that translate into the scale of the puppet? That would be about 7 or 8 meters. What could be an 8 meter set? Maybe like a little room, or maybe like a restaurant, I don't know, and just work from there on. But yeah, props, sets, the camera, the lights, those are like the biggest troubles when it comes to setting up for animation. You can't trespass matter in order to move puppets without moving the camera. I wish I could. It would make my life so much easier. What kind of an... That's why I'm studying that thing. Yeah. That's why you're studying our little side project out there. Jolliver hope... Well, yeah, me and Jolliver, we're working together and trying to, you know, sort a couple of things out and maybe make more stuff, or, you know, expand a little bit of our limits. But everything has its own ups and downs. Like working with digital effects and 3D and, you know, like digital backgrounds, it still requires it to work with the keying and removal of background. It's a whole thing on itself too. But yeah, we are working on some interesting stuff. And yeah, so we're gonna be doing that. That's what I was telling you about the... Yeah, that we lost the set, but we're not working on the workshop, on the first workshop anymore. But the good thing is that now we can work for as long as we can in the workshop, so we can push forward. So in the near future, you'll get a larger studio? No, I don't think in the near future. I think for now I'm going to be working here. I would love to get a larger studio. I would really love that, but I would need a budget for that. Right now, my current budget is negative, and it's not very hard. I feel like the way things move around here in Twitch and YouTube, like if things go out properly, I'll probably be able to get some good, like a decent space for making stuff, but I won't like to just like jump too far ahead. So for now, this is what it is. I'm gonna try and work with what I've got and see how far or how good quality can I make stuff here. And I don't know, just trial and error, a bunch of trial and error, and hope for the best. But it would definitely be fun to get another space in the future. When you will be streaming again? So our next stream is going to be on Sunday, and it's going to be Evil's back surgery, but it's more of an autopsy rather than a surgery. We're going to be taking a look at what broken her, what's... Yeah, I mean, in this current situation, I need to try my best, but I don't want to like stop making stuff. My priority is to keep making stuff, make fun stuff, and hopefully, you know, move more people around me to join the channel, join the community, talk in our chats, that sort of stuff. I think that's like the route we need to follow right now. And hopefully things will grow. Seeing how people have been receiving the latest video, I feel like there's a lot of potential in just, you know, keep pushing forward and see where it goes. When will you be streaming again? So yeah, next Sunday. I don't have a time, but I would probably say somewhere earlier in the day, much earlier than today. And, you know, making a casual stream of... I'm not sure if we're gonna have the time to actually work on something yet, but it's gonna be more like, let's check Evil, let's sort of write down all the things that we need to fix, then the things that we need to improve, and start working on either Neuro or Evil or both, that sort of stuff. I'm excited to see you grow. I'm making sacrifices for you. Oh my god, thank you very much, Nadvas. It sounds a little bit ominous. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds a little bit scary when you phrase it like that. But I'm very thankful for anything you put on the table for us. If it's even just your attention, I'm very thankful for that, because it feels animals, not humans. What? Oh no. That's even more ominous. Thank you anyway, I guess. So, but yeah, I mean, just seeing the community grow and seeing more familiar, well, seeing more names become familiar here is really cool, and I really hope we get to something. So I'm very curious on how fast things will move now. Why is it phrased like that? I'm really excited to see where we go now, and how much time will stuff take? Because Evil was made in 8 months-ish, give or take, a lot of ups and downs, but I was not working full time. I was like working a little bit, and then I had to pause and then go back and then do this and maybe wait for that, and maybe the materials weren't here, I need to go buy more, that sort of stuff. I feel like now that I'm gonna be trying to do this like full time as much as I can, things might move faster, and I really hope that gives us the chance to make much more stuff, because I would love to make, you know, a lot of stuff. I would love to make 37 different VTubers someday, but for now it's one at a time, and maybe when we sort out the process and we find a way to make things that's easy enough, that's simple enough, but keeps the high amount of quality that I'm looking for, yeah, maybe then we're gonna be able to make, I don't know, let's I feel like it's way too optimistic, but let's say one puppet every month or every 2 months. That would be insane and would be really amazing. Would you love to have an evil puppet from? I would love to have it. Would be something doable in the future. It could be possible. Let me tell you, it would probably not be cheap at all. I mean, it's a lot of work that goes into one of these puppets, and it's a little bit hard to, yeah, but this could definitely be possible. But, oh, by the way, there's another thing that I wanted to, okay, I'll go to that later. So selling a puppet would be incredibly pricey, and honestly, well, for now I don't think that's a big possibility, but I feel like if I ever make a puppet, I would always try to give a big priority to the creators themselves. Like, if Vettel asked me for the evil puppet, I would consider very seriously selling them the puppet, because I don't know, I find it fun, like letting people have their own thing that made it all the way from the internet to the physical realm. But I mean, it's not impossible. It's a little bit hard to just say, hey, yeah, you can buy it on Amazon here. It's a lot of work, but it would be fun. I honestly would love to give stuff out, or maybe, you know, I don't know, like making like the Neurocar, making like an Etsy. What was it? Etsy? No, it's not Etsy. Like an eBay raffle, or no? What's the name of the thing where people make bids? Auction. Yeah, that. Because of molding and details, because it's a lot of work. It's just flat out a lot of work. Even now that I've got all the molds ready, like making a new puppet takes weeks easily, because you need to cast material. There's a lot of spare pieces. If someone wants a puppet, do they want a puppet to work as a simple sculpture, or do they want them to be fully animatable? Because if they need something fully animatable, I would need not only to give them a single puppet, but give them like a full mouth set, a full eyebrow set, and probably a couple of spares for the hair, a couple of spares for the arms, a couple of spares for maybe some props, and all of that takes a lot of time. That's what I've been doing for the last while, and making all of those replacements and all of those copies, it takes a very long time to make. Which doesn't mean I don't want. I would love to make puppet and sell it to people and make another one, sell it, but it's a little bit hard to say right now, because I feel like I'm barely getting started and it's a little bit hard. And also at the same time, I wouldn't love to, you know, sell all my puppets as soon as I make them, because even if in the future I make something that's got nothing to do with Neuro or with Vettel, and I make, I don't know, Iron Mouse, just random, well, Iron Mouse got sort of related to Vettel this weekend, but yeah, let's say I make an Iron Mouse, or Saba. Saba hasn't collabed with Auction. Yeah, that's the word. Sorry, I forgot about it. If I make a Saba puppet and I need her to interact with someone else, maybe I'll use Evil as an extra, because she's done, she's there, and she works as a puppet. Even if she's not playing the role of Evil Neuro, and she's just like random character who gives Saba some popcorn. I'm not sure. I'm making stuff up in the fly, but it would be helpful to have like a little cast of characters around to make more stuff. Something I struggled a lot with Evil is that it was just her, and all the interactions she had, it had to be either with a cardboard cutout or like the Discord icons of Vidal and Camilla, that sort of stuff, but there's no like physical interaction of her with someone else. That's something that's going to be very interesting once we get to having both Nero and Evil, that we can finally have them touching each other. You know, it's a very big step when it comes to animation, having two simultaneous characters that move and that can interact physically. That is a very, very big step forward. So, but I mean, I would love others to have them. I would definitely love that, but it's much more complicated. I'm not sure if I could just throw in them. You know, maybe what I could do is, if the broken Evil puppet's not good for moving on, I could try and that one sort of fix it up kind of scuffly, and maybe that one could be given out or auction, that sort of stuff. That could be fun. That could help the channel, but I feel like we're a little bit in the early stages to start thinking about that, but I would definitely love to do that sort of stuff. It's just it feels a little bit far away to me, just because how complicated it could be. Wait, so I got lost in that. Cobots, Knotbots. I don't have a printer or time, but say there's knowing life ain't cheap. Yeah, another thing I would like to actually make is like make more like things more accessible to the viewers. I still don't know how, but like if I ever develop something by myself, like a way to articulate the rig or something, and there's like a 3D file that helps you a lot to, I don't know, make a parting line for a mold, that sort of stuff. I would love to share those out for free and help people make stuff easier. Like I don't think others need to go the long route to make stuff. If I already found a way that's kinda easier, why not just share it? But it's also like still, that's also something I feel like it could be a little bit far away. I need to get focused in the present and maybe then start thinking on all the stuff that we can do once we are like a huge corporation. We have 1 million videos and all that stuff. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. Let's focus on what we've got right now, but it'll be fun. One puppet per day. One puppet per day would be insane because of molding and details. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into a puppet. You'll see it along the way, but if you just see, like, I've got 13 or so videos of me working on the puppet, and it's not even making the full puppet, it's just reworking the hair and making a couple of new expressions, and that took me months to do. Months without the full-time effort, but it did take me months. So it's weird. Wonder if Bill would buy his own creations merch. It would be very interesting. I would love to sell them a little Evil puppet. That would be fun. Or a Nero puppet. Or a Vedal puppet. I do Dogma figures as extras basis. I don't know what Dogma, or you mean Figma? Maybe Dogma is similar to Figma. I've been thinking about it. I've never used like customs or done custom animations. It sounds fun. I feel like it's something that I would like to give it a shot someday. But I'll be honest, I like too much the part of getting my hands dirty and making stuff. So even if I made like a cool custom animation with any sort of Figma doll and I modified it to make like any other character, that sort of stuff, I feel like I would go back into making stuff from scratch because I don't know, I just love it. I know it's like the long route and it's sort of much more complicated than it should be because making animation with pre-made toys and stuff would be much easier, but I just love making that, so I wouldn't give it away. But I would definitely love to make you know, like an action figure animation someday. I feel like it would be interesting to try that out. But yeah, I always love making stuff from scratch. It's just fun. What do you mean by touching each other? Okay, no, Roman, stop. I mean, just the physical interaction is a very big step in animation. That's it. No, don't overthink it, Roman, please. Do you realize anything related to the Neuroverse catches on quickly if you're lucky, because sometimes the algorithm doesn't show it to the swarm. It's fine. It's moved fairly enough. I've moved it in the... Oh, now we're in Deltarune music. I did share it in the on the Discord, and I feel like a lot of people reacted to it and really enjoyed it in the Discord. You know, I'm not looking for like instant Vettel recognition and praise and everyone like throwing roses at me. I'm just looking for that if there's 10 people who watch my stuff, I just want those 10 people to, or at least 9 of those 10 people to tell me or to believe that it's a good product. And that's more than enough to me for now. I think if we push forward, something will happen eventually. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, but I don't mind as long as the quality of my work is still moving forward and the reaction that people have towards my work is still positive. I feel like I'm on the right track, and if any day something crazy happens and we get like a crazy Vettel raid or whatever, that's fine, and it's just not... I shouldn't be getting too hooked up on that. I should get hooked up on moving forward, and if something crazy happens, that's fun, that's cool, but yeah, whatever. Realize that anything related to Neuroverse catches? Yeah. I'm sure glad the algorithm showed me. Yeah, I'm glad the algorithm has been showing this stuff around. A lot of people have seen it, a lot of people... I think, this fun little insight, I think we only have 3 dislikes in the video, because I think YouTube doesn't show those anymore. And I don't know who made those 3 dislikes. I would love to know what made them not like. So here's another little disclaimer. I know there's people who simply cannot enjoy stop motion. And I don't even think it's something of personal taste. There's like people who actually will get dizzy because they get like this physical brain reaction whenever they watch the animation and the movement is this, you know, snappy and not very motion blurry and that sort of stuff. I don't know, it's something that happens. So I'm not expecting to be perfect for everyone, but as long as someone enjoys it, I want to keep making it. I think it's more than enough. Sure, the algorithm showed me. Stop motion amazing, awesome job on the new video. Thank you, the green clone group. My tongue. The green clone commando. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you liked it. I'm happy that, yeah, you like what we make. It's always fun to see that. They'll think says we'll become incorporated eventually. Yes, and we're gonna make very, very poor financial choices together. It's gonna be so fun. We're gonna be able to make no, just be stupid and annoying forever. Yes, that would be great. Let's become Corpo Incorporated. Corpo Incorporated is like the code name that I use for the company I was working for before. Not the animation studio, but the generic boring stuff company where I had the original workshop and that closed down. So Corpo Incorporated, little lore drop, is the code name of whatever stupid entity I was working with that made very strange, very odd choices that just never made sense to me, but whatever. Yeah, that's fair. I love hearing you be passionate. Thank you, Nubbats. I love being passionate. The Mary Pup. I'm not sure what that means. I think the important is to make a good stronghold. Yeah. I love to, you know, I think that's what I like of having a community and meeting new people and seeing, like, I don't know, it's just fun having people around, talking about stuff, chatting. It's cool. I think it's gonna be cool. Romanzo said, wow, I'm not sure. 3 dislikes. Wow. Why? I don't know why I had 3 dislikes, but dang, that's crazy ratio. I would love to know the whys. Yeah, I would pretty much love to know the whys. I'm guessing someone would find it like not very appealing. As I told you, there's some people who stop motion just doesn't work for them, and it's fine. I don't blame them. It's like maybe it's like the cilantro gene, you know? If you can't stand cilantro because it tastes like soap, that's not your fault. I'm not gonna force you to eat cilantro, and I'm gonna force you to enjoy stop motion, but still it's very interesting. But I mean, just make the conversion. We've got 3 dislikes to what? Like 300 likes? Yeah, it's pretty good. I just would love... I'm crossing my fingers. I think it's about time we stop like making big pushes. Like it was fun last week, but right now I think we need to chill out. But I'm still crossing my fingers and keeping my hopes up to seeing more people react to the video. I just loved seeing Brandon Lyon's reaction, and I don't know if I ever could see if any other VTuber or not made reactions to the thing. I would really enjoy seeing. Well, there was an Italian person who saw the video, and also like a little VTuber. Their design was very interesting. I really like their thumbnail. What was their name? Mavis Online, Mavis something. They had like a little cat shadow. But yeah, I love watching those. So hopefully we'll be getting throughout time a couple of reactions here and there, but there's no need to push for them. I feel like if they don't pop out right now, they'll pop out eventually. And it's gonna be more fun, because if people discover the channel when we've got 3 videos instead of 1, that will make very interesting. I could not make content. Seeing how many people saw the video and didn't subscribe would make me hate videos beyond. I don't know, I understand it, just because people usually just watch stuff and go. Like, I mean, it's good for people to subscribe, but I don't know, sometimes you're just watching stuff with your brain shut down and you just enjoy it and move to the next one. That's about it. I don't think it's bad, but it's really cool when people do support you. They do subscribe, they do hit the bell and all that stuff, but there's no need to get sour about people not subscribing to a channel, especially if we're already doing good enough. I like to dive into channels. I might watch too much too. I mean, diving into channel is fun once in a while when you find something that really like connects to you, but I understand. It's not like I've never just seen a video and not seen the channel or subscribed to the channel. The perfect example are like the math tutorials, right? Whenever you need a math tutorial for your high school class, you just go, check the math tutorial, learn to do whatever thing you need to learn to do, and just forget about it forever. Unless, I think there's a couple of math channels that are very popular, right? Like the teacher who saved so many lives in high school. By the way, one person who sent it to directly, who is in the way, this is a little bit, oh, it moved too fast. Give me a second, I'll think. By the way, one person who I sent it to directly, who is entirely unassociated with Nerocon, still ended up laughing so much at the pipe rant. Oh, what was so funny. That's very interesting, because I feel like, yeah, it's a little bit hard to explain, like all the context behind what we've done. Like, why does she have a harpoon? What's the frog hat about? Why is she bald? What's the pipe about? They're all bits and very famous things of her, but I'm glad to see that other people laughed about it, even if they don't understand anything about Evil Neuro. That's really interesting. Not gonna lie, for me the big it worth it was brand reaction. Yes, the brand reaction really cheered me up when I saw it, because the face he makes the first second the hello chat clips begins is just great. Like, his eyes just spark and fill with joy instantly, and I don't know, it felt amazing. It really helps me move forward watching that stuff. It really was magical. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get too hung up on that. I think if there's a cool react out there, it's gonna be there. They're probably gonna be appear in the... I saw that the live shared. Yeah, I remember that you were live. You're the one who recommended it. But yeah, we'll see. I feel like even if people don't find us right now, they're gonna find us in the future. So a lot of possibilities there. And yeah, so I don't know what else to talk about. Let me think. So yeah, I'm gonna repeat because I'm not sure if there's someone new here. So we're probably having our next stream on Sunday, probably earlier on Sunday, somewhere around 12. Wait, no, 11 or 10. I usually like to start early, like 11 or 12 or 10 a.m. just so we can go all the way and work all day long. But I'll let you know if I change my my schedule. I'm also gonna try. Right now things are still very bumpy. I actually wanted to, well, no, I didn't want to start stream early, but I thought I would have this morning all to myself to try out the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat and all that stuff. But turns out I didn't. Green Clone Commando, hello there. To be honest, I only watched a little bit of Neuro. I just enjoy the amount of work put into a video. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I really like the fact that, yeah, there's not. I don't want to be like a gatekeeping channel. I don't enjoy people who gatekeep for pretty much anything that isn't like open heart surgery. I think that's fine. You can gatekeep people trying to make that sort of surgery, but if it's art, I just like stuff to be out there, and I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, even if you don't know a lot about Neuro. I didn't know a lot about Neuro when I began, you know? I only wanted like a cute anime girl so I could make rolling eyes and see if it worked. But on the, like, while I was working on it, I started watching clips and I started enjoying it, and that's what made me make it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoy the craft of stop motion. And yeah, I mean, if that's your cup of tea, stick around. We're gonna have some fun. I would love to share with you as much as I can about it. Just enjoy the amount of work stop motion is pain to do, but it looks so good. Reminds me of the movie Kubi on the Two Strings. Kubi on the Two Strings is a very cool movie. Laika is amazing when it comes to, well, I mean, they're the biggest stop motion animation because of that, but I mean, they make incredible stuff. I really hope the next movie is Evil So Cute. Yes, or I cannot read. Odranoel 1421. Evil So Cute. You are right. Evil So Cute. I think Isle of Dogs is my favorite stop motion movie. Isle of Dogs is really good. What is my favorite stop motion movie? I feel like it feels a little bit basic to me, but probably is the like Jack's Nightmare Before Christmas. It feels a little bit basic, but it's just too much of a classic. I remember watching it like hundreds of times when I was a kid. It was like one of those movies I wanted to play again and again and again. So I feel like it feels sort of basic for a stop motion artist because there's like a bunch, and I should say, oh no, there's like this Slavic film that was made during the Cold War, and it's really interesting because it really goes deep into the depths of humanity and misery. And no, not really. I like the funny skeleton singing around and being sad. But possibly we do some surgery or something cool like that for Halloween just for fun. I mean, I would like to postpone the surgery itself for Halloween. I do have a couple of ideas of, I'm not sure. I have one idea of something fun I would like to do for Halloween. I don't know how to manage October, because I'm not sure if October should be like all Halloween month, because it would be very sad if I only made like one single Halloween day stream. Cannot love Nightmare Before Christmas, just that good. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I mean, it's if it ain't broken, just don't fix it. But yeah. So I want to know what to do on Halloween, like specifically on stream. I'm not sure if I have any ideas, but I do have a couple of Halloween adjacent ideas. I don't know how to. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. I do have ideas. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't have any concrete Halloween day idea. But we'll see. I think we can make fun stuff. Okay. Horsehead Studios. Honestly, my favorite stop motion might be one of the stop motion short films I've seen on YouTube. Just have to remember which one. There's some very good stop motion movies out there, like short films. There's very cool ones out there. Which one's cool? Let's see. There's one that's like this retired Harryhausen skeleton that is like unemployed because no one uses stop motion anymore, and they cannot find a job. That's a good one. Car Notes. Not sure that's. There's another one. Well, Giri Trinca's The Hand is one of my favorites. Have you ever seen? Well, that's not really like a YouTube animation itself, but it's really cool. I mean, it is on YouTube. It's more like a festival kind of animation, but Barry Purv's animation work, oh, that's incredible. It's really stunning. We should watch some Barry Purv's one day on stream. I would love to do that. I met that guy on a festival in Annecy, at Annecy, like 2 years ago, a little bit more. And oh my god, do you have a sentient trained weasel as a roommate? And no, it's more like street vendors, you know? Something that, yeah, Camotes. Ah, okay, that's what you mean. Yes, Camotes. Hope that wouldn't be. Yeah, it's Camotes. It's street vendors that announce themselves with a loud whistle. So yeah. XX Darkness XX. Hello, hi, hello, X Darkness. Welcome to the workshop. Hello, welcome to our first stream, our first multi-stream. We're streaming for the first time ever in Twitch too. But yeah, you're welcome to stay whichever platform you wish. And we're just here chatting, hanging out. It's just like a general, thank you for all the support that I've been getting for the new video. And yeah, just general Q&A. So if there's anything else you'd like to ask, or you, Darkness, that you just made it here, you could also ask anything you'd like about the puppet, about my work, about whatever. Yeah, that's what we're here for. But yeah, now that I'm thinking, so yeah, what were we talking about? So Sunday we can do our autopsy stream and setting up our new goals. I still need some time to work on a couple of things, but it's fine. You deserve the support. The animation was very big. Thank you, Darkness. It's really, I'm really glad you enjoyed it and you want to support what we do. It's very hard to make that sort of stuff, and it takes a lot of time. So that's why I try to stream a little bit, so I don't end up like just releasing a single video every year. I think it's better to, share. If I share the process, I can also like make more content and please the algorithms a little bit and just chat and hang out. I would like to hopefully in the future have people like hanging out while we're doing streams. Like while I'm working on something, I don't know, just maybe have someone phone call and just talk about stuff, like chatting while we're working on the workshop. That would be fun. Good way to keep on working, but at the same time like hanging out with cool people and meeting, new people. Dapper Brick just subscribed. Very interesting. So yeah, what was I saying? Animation. I need to set up a couple of things here. I need to arrange. This place is a mess. I've got a bunch of wires running all around. I need to do a little bit of cable management. I want to make a little like workshop 2.0 tour, but I want to wait a little bit longer because I need to arrange a little bit. The thing is, right now I don't have any curtains, and I feel like if I don't have curtains, you're gonna be able to see like very big landmarks that are very close to my windows, and you're gonna know exactly where I am located because of the Eiffel Tower right outside my window. So, but yeah, just realized, is there an acoustic version? Yes, there is an acoustic version of Crazy Freaking Robot Body. It was made by a friend of mine. They go by the name, by the artistic name, The Bloody Moose. I'm actually thinking of releasing the video. Rainbow. But yeah, the acoustic version, I want to release it soon, probably next week. Just like a general video on the channel. Hopefully I will not get blasted for copyright. I don't know how that works, but I mean, if I get blasted for Swarm FM, I might. Yeah, it's gonna be there. I've got the file. I'm gonna set it up. I just want to make like a cool album cover looking thumbnail and put it out there soon. Man, it's not gonna take me a lot. I just want to brag. Discord, if it goes down. Yeah, of course, I'll share it in Discord, but I could use the watch time, you know, especially if it's a song, or well, if it's music and people can listen it every now and then. It's gonna be very helpful for our watch time numbers if we have it on the channel. But yeah, if it gets taken down, definitely we can put it on Discord. But yeah, give me some time, I'll probably get it. I'm gonna get the files. I'm gonna ask my friend The Bloody Moose for it. I'm gonna try and see if we can find, if he can give me both the version with voice, that one's just like a rip of the original voice of Crazy Fucking Robot Body, Evil's cover, and having the like just acoustic, just the guitar, so you can have both versions out there. Did I hear album cover? Yeah. I was thinking of just using the frame of her with the guitar, and maybe just like tweaking a little bit to the colors, but I don't know, maybe if there's any other idea out there, I could try and try something else. Would be fun. But yeah, so don't quote me on that, but I would love to have that published this week, like this coming week. What is it, like, yeah, between Monday and Friday of the next week, whatever. That one was made a long time ago. I'm not sure if, because a lot of you have seen the animation itself, but you haven't seen the... Well, I'm not sure if any of you have seen the other animation I made before. The first animation I made, it was for Evil's birthday. It was very cool. It was very interesting because I made her before her redesign, so she didn't have the same hair color, the pins changed, but yeah, you can see it there in the channel. It's a little clip I made. It has a little bit more of a making of rather than just being the animation itself. And that one was fun to make. And why was I talking about that? Because I don't know. But that one's out there. It's really cool. It's really neat. And what else could we do? So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if anyone's got any other questions, I would gladly answer them. I think I'm running out of ideas right now. But usually if you ask the right question, you'll get me on a roll and I'm gonna start speaking and not stop. Wait, you got me in the middle of a coffee sipping. We can fuse some fun stuff. Maybe that could be interesting. I mean, the only rule I would put for the cover right now, because Evil is completely broken and I don't have a set right now, would be just, it would have to be something that we make with the frames that we already have. So anything that's inside the Evil Nero Extravaganza, I would be open to use it, you know, maybe tweak it, maybe do some little masking, but I wouldn't want to go all out and say, hey, I'm gonna make a new pose and grab it and put the guitar. Right now I feel like that would be too much unnecessary work, but if you can come up with something, I would gladly, I think it would be fun. Also, it needs to be fairly fast, something that we can pull off this week, so we don't postpone it just because we had this very crazy idea for a background. But yeah, So I'm running out of ideas. Let me think if there's anything else we could work on. So, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to start sharing all of the work with you guys, like working live, making stuff, chatting. It's fun. I miss our workshop streams. Don't want to wax your ego too much. The Hornet video is great also. Thank you very much. That video was made very long ago. I have Hornet right here with me right now. Wait, no, where is she? Where is she? Oh no, she's in the... she's further away. But I have a spare dress of Hornet right now in my hand. I've been fidgeting with it for a while. Just like a random circle of red cloth. And I'm playing Hollow Knight for the first time, and then it's oof. I've never played Hollow Knight, and I just wanted to skip straight into Silksong, and I feel like I'm suffering the consequences. I'm struggling so much with that cricket guard. I do have some add-ons that I bought that I've never used for playing there. I mean, if there's something you want to try out, that would be funny. When Hollow Knight Silksong crashed multiple platforms on launch, it was really, yes, I wanted to buy it, and it was just not possible. It was gone. Fun. But yeah, the Hornet animation I made a very long time ago. Made it actually, I think I was still in school back then, and I made it along with a couple of my classmates, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but I worked with some other people making the Hornet animation, but I made the animation itself, like the act of moving the puppet around and taking pictures, and I had never released it. And because I never released it and the game was finally going to release, I just thought, hey, why don't I... Well, first I only wanted to make the little avatar for our Let's Plays, and then I found the original video, which wasn't really complete, but I said, hey, maybe I could tweak this one a little bit. The file's a little bit compressed, it's a little bit ugly, but I think I can make it work. So I spent a little bit of time. Wait, really? It crashed everything? Yes, it crashed everything! Yeah, Hollow is pretty much the tutorial for Silksong. Is it really harder than Hollow Knight? Yeah, Steam Store didn't work for like an hour, so I heard, yes, I struggled with the Steam Store for more than an hour. Like, it was a while. That's the spirit I want to hear from you. I can test something. Yeah, Steam, Nintendo, eShop, PlayStation, Shop, Xbox. Yes, everything went down. That's crazy. It's... How many downloads does it take for a store to crash? I wonder. So what else am I talking about? Oh yeah, but making the animation for Hornet was really fun. It feels like I did it a long time ago, so I was barely like getting started with animation. So I feel like it was, to me, it was much harder than it should have been because I was still learning how to, you know, properly assemble stuff and all that. But now that I feel like I'm more experienced, I feel like making Hornet stuff would have not taken that long. But I'm not sure if I would make more Silksong stuff because that puppet right now it's not in a very good state. It's very old. Being there on D-Day when Helldivers 2 dropped, it was fun knowing that servers exploded. It's fun. I think it's charming when you're at the like in the front lines when stuff crashes. Just thinking on stuff. Maybe in the future you could make some stop motion about Miku Teto. I'm not sure who Teto is, but Miku, you mean Hatsune Miku? Not sure if you know what those are, but that'll be cool. Maybe. You know, I'm not closed to making other stuff. I feel like making VTubers is a pretty safe and pretty cool like avenue, if you catch my drift, because not only I've never seen any VTubers like how do you say this, send a cease and desist to any fan art maker. That's more like a company thing. But also like it's a cool circle where people move around and stuff like flourishes more. It feels like fertile ground to me. I'm not sure exactly where on that scale Hatsune Miku would stand. I mean, I also know there's like billions of fan art of Miku. I'm not sure who Teto is. What about the whole copyright stuff? I'm not sure where Miku would stand there. I've never tried having, or I've never seen if I've got banned or blasted by copyright with my Miku. Well, whenever there's like a Miku song in Swarm FM, but I mean, I would not be closed to the idea. It's just, if I ever did something like that, I would rather having it be something official, and if it's something official, then I'll very comfortably be able to make it and not worry that my year and a half of work is just gonna be blasted in a second because Sony Music Entertainment thinks it would be funny. But I mean, it sounds fun. I think Hatsune Miku is pretty much a very big character that will be fun to make. I don't know who Teto is. I'm sorry, I don't know a lot about Miku's lore, but yeah, it could be fun. Yeah, there's like a bunch of characters that could be made and stuff, but I feel like I need to be careful because whichever work I spend like months and months doing, someone else can blast in a single click, like, hey, I don't like this, I want to copyright strike this guy, and yeah, I'm gone. That scary thought, especially stop on. Yes, just getting nuked in a single click after months of work. Imagine right now that I get like a copy strike on my Evil Neuro video after 8 months of hard work, finally releasing it, getting, I don't know, let's go back in time a little bit, but getting 2,000 views, a bunch of likes, a lot of people being excited, and then boom, getting blasted. That would be. Just got back, not sure what I missed, but it seems to be a Hatsune Miku thing. Oh yeah, Green Clone Commando was suggesting maybe making a Hatsune Miku thing, and I was saying like, I'm not close to the possibility, but the thing, what I like about the idea of making VTubers is that they're usually very open to fan art, and companies, like bigger companies, tend to be more closed towards fan art. I know Miku has like a bunch of fan art here and there. It's a very, very celebrated character, but I'm just worried that if by any chance, I don't know, Sony Music Entertainment or whoever owns the copyright to Miku decides to destroy me, it could be the end for. Yeah, I would get the Miku beam. You're right. Imagine if you make. Oh, I thought you meant that I was gonna be getting Miku beamed for using. Vel is cool at least. Yeah, I think Vel would be cool. I feel like if I made stuff from other streamies, it would be hard to think about someone like blasting me for not liking my stuff. I've seen a bunch of animations made from all sorts of indie VTubers and also like corpo VTubers. You know, there's like a bunch of animations of Hololive, of Face Connects, and there's usually not a big problem with that. But it would definitely be fun. I think it's gonna be fun if in the future we start to actually make projects, and I mean, just making stuff that isn't boring, like making. Yeah, like if I got to make a Miku commercial for anything, that would be fun. I just wouldn't love to stop making Neurovedal or whichever VTuber thing for VTubers for, you know, animating a soap detergent thing. It's but I don't know, it's. I mean, there's a bunch of possibilities. Corpa clap, man VTubers. You mean man VTubers? I know a couple of them, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Just don't know them as well. I think the only like male VTuber I know fairly enough is wait, what's his name? Random the Orc. I think that one would be fun to make. Random would be fun because they have like a huge orc, bulky build. It will be a different. It will be like a chibidoki, like different body design instead of generic anime girl. No, I just mean didn't think life would lead me to VTubers. Yeah, I think I only know one male VTuber. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. I don't know a lot of them like that I've seen more than once their content, but I've seen them hanging around in collabs and stuff. But that would be fun too. And now it's time for the moment we've been waiting for, said the future Mariano. What do you mean? Cannot but wants to watch one, you are trapped into watching it for a long time. Yeah, it's like a rabbit hole. It's just like you find one or one good clip, and then you're watching another clip, and then another clip, and then they're interacting with this other character, and it's like, oh, who's this little big-headed fellow? And now you're watching Chibidoki, and then you're watching more stuff, and now you're watching Doki Bird, and there's just like a whole pantheon of crazy anime girls out there. But it's fun, it's charming. Could you just not contact the person before you commit? Parameters. Could you not? I'm not sure if my English is working properly today, but I've been thinking of that. I've been thinking of actually being able to contact people. Oh, you mean like companies? Maybe, but they're usually hard to reach. And if it's VTubers, yeah, it's most likely, but I also think it would probably not get a lot of replies, but I could definitely try. I feel like maybe if the content I make starts growing a little bit more and a couple more persons find it, we could start like talking to either creators or companies or whatever comes. And yeah, I would love to make more official stuff rather than simple fan art. I think it would be funny. I just saw an error clip one day. If only kept my circle of the world. Yes. It's funny how I thought the channel's name was Mariana at first instead of Mariano. Yeah, Mariana is more of a usual name. The masculine of that, it's not really that common, but here we are. Unforcen. What? Cool. Contact the person before you commit to a work. Yeah, I mean, I could contact the person, but I mean, how do I reach out to Hatsune Miku, for example? I don't know who or how would that work, but the Forsen, it's a good meme. No, I don't know that meme. Does he know the Forsen? No, I don't know what the Forsen is. I don't know what's the haven't seen that meme. I'll have to Google it after the stream. There's a streamer named Gura, and has been called Gura in secret. I think they used face swap and pretended to be her or something. Oh, okay. Make scuffed doll mixing. A scuffed doll mixing me and Miku. Named Forsen. Oh, okay. There's a streamer named Forsen, and was called Gura. Has been called Gura in secret. I think they used face swap. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, there seems to be a few Forsen meme things. Like, never got mad at chat one day and they claimed Forsen had quit. Huh? What? That's interesting. I really love those little like bits and like simple things that evolve into whole character lore in the world of VTubing. Like Filion being a Filipino femboy. Might be. Oh yeah. There seems to be a new force and anything. But when did that happen? That sounds like it would have been like around somewhere around Gura's graduation. Yes, next stream we'll be doing Evil's Autopsy. Still need to set up and choose one table for it, set up my camera. I haven't used the workshop camera in a while because for the last couple of streams we'll be using the animation camera, which is a fancy one, but for workshop I like to use the workshop camera, which is much more. Have you seen Smiling Friends? Yes, I have. I really like the Smiling Friends blending with different styles of animation, and I really like their stop motion bits. They're usually done by, what's this guy's name? Forgot. It's not Patrick. What's his name? Is the guy who made the Simpsons creepy thing? Always forget his name. But yeah, he makes a bunch of cool creepy things for her Smiling Friends. Yeah. Must have been an expensive animation camera. I think it was fairly expensive. I was just taking a look at it this morning, not at the camera, but I was like searching what are the best cameras for stop motion in the market right now, and I feel like I mean, how much time? It's been like 6 or 7 years since I bought that camera, and it was fairly pricey. But nowadays there's like very good alternatives, because the good thing about stop motion camera, if you're gonna use a camera for stop motion and only for stop motion, there's a bunch of cool bells and whistles that you're not gonna need, like autofocus and that sort of stuff. So if you use the cameras that tend to have like lesser qualities in those areas can be very useful for getting into stop motion with something decent. Hey, want to drop by and say that your work has been absolutely amazing, Dave Bacon. Hey, wanted to drop by and say that your work has been absolutely amazing. You certainly captured evil. Thank you, thanks. I really love. I don't know. It's very flattering as an animator to be told that I managed to capture the essence of a character. I feel like it's very fulfilling. It's something that we always strive to do, because I'm not a cute little anime girl, but I feel like I can understand it if I get into the right mindset. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dave Bacon. Not sure you're still around, but thanks. I appreciate your comments, and I feel I don't know, I thank you for it. It's really encouraging. I love those little random comments popping here and there. So the inside joke with Smiling Friends is that they're just unplaced because I've been watching those guys since New Heroes days, and seeing Zack get on the big screen finally is great. Yes. Pipes. Yeah, that's the crazy hard stuff today, Vic. That's cool. I don't know, it's fun. I like capturing it. Also, it feels very cool because at the same time I feel like I didn't know Evil when I began. And I got to the point where I understood her well enough to make those sort of random videos and make them cohesive to her own personality. Yeah, I remember I began making Neuro, and I didn't even know like there was an evil sister, or I just thought it was like red-eyed Neuro, not that it was another character on its own. And now I feel like I understand them. I sorta can distinguish between their voices. I still struggle a little bit, but I think I've got the hang of it. I don't know, they've grown on me a lot this last year or so. Also, there's a new Smiling Friends season coming out soon, right? I think in October or something. I remember being a bit shocked that it took so long to learn. Someone was streaming. Yeah, I remember I saw it and I thought it was just... I didn't think it was an AI, I just thought it was like a comment reader bot. I made an animation while only knowing the surface. That's impressive for the actual... I mean, I did only know the surface when I was starting to work on it. Like, I began to work on the model because I honestly just wanted to work on a puppet that had eyes. I just wanted the eyes to work, and I just wanted to test, like, hey, what happens if I do a puppet that has actual eye sockets and spheres and I can move the eyes around. I've never done that before with another puppet, and it feels like it's got a lot of potential, so let's try that. And I found the model. I thought it was a fairly fun character because I saw her shocking Philian here and there, but I didn't know a lot about her, and I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And while I was working on that, I was, you're cool, heart, heart, heart. Thank you, you jest, heart, heart, heart. I'm glad you like what I do and like me and find me cool. That's very flattering. So, learning he made her, then diving. Yeah, I mean, it's just slowly but surely I got deep into the rabbit hole and I got to understand them and like them. It was really fun because, I mean, at the beginning it was just like this random anime girl I was making, and eventually I was just like hooked, waiting to hear the new Evil original song because it was definitely gonna be defining the rest of my work for the next months. And then Boom came out and I liked it a lot, and I wanted to animate the song. I mean, not the whole song because it would be too much work, but at least like enough for the chorus and stuff. And then she broke, but we managed to pull it off. Boom. Yeah, Boom. Hopefully one day I'll get to animate the rest of Boom. The only bad thing is that even if we make our new evil puppet, we don't have the set anymore. We don't have like the background with the little bricks. So we would probably have to start from scratch, but it wasn't that much of a meat. Why did you choose Evil Nero for the animations, Marina? She had eyes. Yes, she had eyes. And also it was her birthday. Originally it was going to be just regular Nero, and then I learned about, well, Evil existing for starters, and then I learned about Evil's tragic birthday before the one this year, like in March 2024. And I was like, oh no, that's so sad. Poor little girl. She had a very lonely birthday. Let's give her a good birthday. So I tried to make... I changed the... Well, didn't change anything. I was just working with grays back then because it was just the 3D model. And I was like, hey, let's make her evil then. So I made Evil. And it also gave me a really cool... Wait, where are I? Chat Drake, the stop motion animation was incredible. You did an amazing job. It fits Evil so well. It's great to see stop motion still done like this. Of course, yeah. I love making stop motion. I love to making stuff from scratch, having like getting my hands dirty, making really cool and fun stuff, best quality possible. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Shadrake. I'm very glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you liked it, and welcome to the channel. Welcome. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll be making much more in the future. But as you might have already guessed, this is a pretty slow thing, so it's gonna take a while. It'll take a while to make more stuff, but hopefully it's gonna be faster than what it was to make Evil herself. But yeah, welcome, Shadrake. Glad you made it here, and thanks for your encouragement. I'm very happy. You could say she exploded. Not bots, I love them both, but Velospro's my favorite. The work he has done, the humor. Yeah, he's pretty funny. How do I say that? I don't know. He's got like very cool qualities and how he interacts with others, both his daughters and other streamers. I don't know. He always has like a very fun and interesting dynamic with other people. I like that a lot. Thanks. And yeah, sure, it's super time consuming. It definitely is super time consuming. Are you also like an animator or a... No, I think I just misread it, but yeah, it is time consuming. This humor is such a deadpan. Yeah. But it works really well. It works really well. It's just like they form a perfect slapstick comedy duo in both. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee. No, but I just really appreciate the art in general. I mean, I'm glad you appreciate it. Those great straight men to their craziness. Yeah. Pretty much always. Yeah, deadpan and serious, but not quite. Like, he has this little. How do I say it? It's like subtle mischief, messy personality that doesn't show off a lot, but you can see it in his actions and not in his like tone of voice or what he's saying. It's more like, why would he be in where he is if he doesn't like to fool and be make fool of himself, right? In a good way, not in a like. I feel like he likes to play along. He just likes to pretend he doesn't like to play along. It's part of his skit or of his schmuck, his I don't know, his traits. Did you say where you're from already? I'm guessing Europe, France? No, I'm not really from France. I'm not sure if I've said it. I mean, it's pretty evident once you consider where I've worked before. But I guess I don't lose anything in saying it's like I'm from. I don't know. Is there any danger in saying which country am I from? Am I gonna get like not? Does it count as doxing? Is it dangerous at all? I'm not from Europe. I'll tell you that. It's so funny where he downplays so. He's in Mexico or something based on the channel thingy. Okay, yep, there you go. Right there, I got doxed there. So yeah, I'm from Mexico. Been here for a while. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. He's in Mexico or something. What channel thing? What are you? Eh? But yes, I am in Mexico or something. Definitely. Probably says in your YouTube profile. Huh, that's interesting. But yeah, okay. So I guess it's out. I'm in Mexico. It's not really like a big secret to me. I just never know. South of my border. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing the largest audience is probably going to be like up there. When I check your channel, you literally get doxed from country. Okay, that's interesting. I've never been to something. Wait, I've never been to somewhere. What is that? What do you mean with that? I've never been to something. Oh, to Mexico. It's fun. It's cool. It's just chaotic, I would say. It's not as you see it in Breaking Bad and stuff. It's not like all deserts and cacti and evil people, but it's still very hectic. This is Mexico or something. Yeah. Oh, okay, I get it now. Sorry, I just sometimes I get lost because there's like latency between what I say and the chat. So you might be replying to something you just heard, but at the same time, I don't catch it. I need to like work on my personal mind delay. It's obvious to me when I heard the camote. Yeah, you're right. Also the camotes, those are pretty, and you're gonna keep listening to those in the future. I'm not sure. For what I've heard is that you can like latency can improve slightly once you become like a bigger channel. I don't know, like YouTube starts to take you a little bit more seriously. Also, I don't know if Twitch has a little bit less latency than YouTube. Hopefully we can test that out in the future. I mean, looking at this, I feel like we're probably not gonna be struggling for long to getting the full partnership on YouTube, so maybe we can start like moving around YouTube and Twitch, and you don't need to worry about that in the future. I'm still trying to get the hang of it, but I mean, I'm very glad and very proud that our Twitch stream did work today, because I've never done it before, and if you saw our first streams, you would see how I screwed up so much. Latency, Vettel's enemy. Yes, Vettel's deadly enemy. I'm from Breaking Bad Town. It's a crack dessert. Oh, you're from Breaking Bad Town. That's cool. Oh yeah, latency. I wish I had the ocean to go to. Ah yes, there's only sand there. Latency depends on a lot of factors. Right now I feel like YouTube has less latency. I did change a couple of settings, so I did take a little bit of a vacation, but as you who might know me from before already know, I'm kind of allergic to taking breaks. So while I was on my breaks, with big air quotes there, I was working on this little sort of technical stuff, like, hey, how do I set up the Twitch account? How do I set up the chat? How can I have the multi-streaming working? All that stuff, and that was my work. And also running around and panicking and looking at the video every 30 seconds, like, have we reached 1,000 views yet? Have we reached 1,500 views yet? Have we reached 2,000 views yet? Partnerships, like advertisements or similar? Wait, what do I mean? Oh, I'm not sure what that means. Oh yeah, partnerships. Yeah, like, oh, maybe you weren't here when we started stream. The thing is, after the video, fortunately, we are getting very close to actually being able to monetize videos, which is very exciting. I mean, finally we can start to make something. I can start to make a little bit of cash out of all of this, which could be very helpful for the workshop itself. So yeah, we're close to reaching YouTube Partners program. We just need we need a little bit more watch time. So for now, like, watching the streams helps us like increase that little number, and hopefully we'll be able to. Yeah, anxious about video performance. I was very, very, very stressed. I mean, can you blame me? It was 8 months of work, and there's always a possibility of it like reaching nobody and having like 100 views and maybe a couple of comments saying, hey, this is cool, and nothing else. But it turned out great. It did work out cool. Partnership, yes, partnership like that. Did you know we have flippin' bronze study of what? No way. No way, that's super cool. Walter White and Jesse. That's super cool. Also see the make some billboards saying not to dump trash. That's super cool. Yeah, months of work for like actually no views except for yourself. Yeah, I mean, it would have been depressing, but it performed really well. And it did really well. It's much more than I expected. I do still feel like it's probably gonna work. It's gonna keep growing in the future. I feel like whenever someone finds it, they love it and they comment and they like it, but still it's got some room to grow. And in the meantime, we can keep making our own stuff, making Neuro. Oh, also, I did speak during the weekend with my costume designer. A little note here for all of those who are new here. I'm very good at making stuff, but I'm not great when it comes to sewing and all that stuff. So I do have a friend who helps me design the costumes and make like fitting them to the puppets and all that stuff. That is like one of the only things that I cannot actually teach you on stream, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind maybe trying once to make a suit or something, but for now I would like to keep the quality up high, so I would like to have the pros do it out. But yeah. Is that the sweater for Evil? Yeah, I mean, the sweater, the skirt, she's got like a little shirt under the sweater, and that's pretty much it, because everything else is just made in the silicone, like the, how do you call it, the leggings, the stockings. I think it will be stockings. The stockings, they are made with the silicone on the casting process, but yeah, everything that's made out of cloth, out of fabric. Oh, also the little bows. Like, she's got the red bow in the middle of her chest, and 2 little bows at the sides of her head and the pigtails. Those were also made by my little my good old costume designer friend, goes by Isa Nissenbaum. But yeah, so I spoke with her, and yeah, she's excited to start working on Neuro and Evil 2. Well, Evil it's just gonna be like a transplant, but working on Evil on Neuro's new. Right, is Evil's head going to be salvageable? It is salvageable. Like Evil's head works; it's not broken, but I think I'm gonna restart it anyway because I want to try fixing all those stuff that I said during our animation streams, Dolphin. Remember that I said that the magnets for the mouth are way too strong, so I might consider using smaller ones. I need to make the neck a little bit longer so that her movement is a little bit more stable. I would even like to have some sort of joint so that the head wouldn't fall as easily. Maybe a screw. I think it would be great if we could have a screw in the top of the neck. But it's that sort of thing that I'm just trying to. That name is so difficult sounding. Isa Nissenbaum? Yeah, I mean, I feel like it sounds like the name of a pro, like a true artist of the needle, you know? Definitely remember the neck. Yeah, I mean, you remember the falling head moments, and so yeah, I think it would be best to try and sort those problems out, because yeah, if we sort that out, we might finally have like our easy to follow recipe for making any character, and that could be extremely valuable for making more stuff. So I'd rather do that than keep struggling with sort of a faulty design. I mean, we're gonna keep improving in every single iteration, but for now we need like a base recipe of this is how we can make something, and with this we can make a decent puppet in, I don't know, 3 months instead of 6. That's cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. And yeah, but well, so I don't know. Well, I had a lot of fun. I think we should start closing up shop. I'm a little bit tired. I did not get a lot of sleep today. And I don't know, I mean, if there's any other question you have, I'll gladly answer to it right now. Also, since you said you were going to restart, are you going to try making it better in detail, just configure stuff like the magnet? Mostly I want to try to sort those sort of details, like mechanical details, articulation, joints, that sort of stuff. The only detail I've been thinking of maybe fixing is making the new pins, like the new little pins that she has, changing the regular turtle for the turtle soup and that sort of stuff. It's gonna, I'm not sure if it's gonna be easy to make because they feel much more complex, but I could give it a shot. And making it better in detail, there's a configure stuff like the magnets you mentioned. So yeah, I mean, I feel like most of them changes are not gonna be visible, but I mean, if there's any input that any of you have, I could try and see if it's possible to tweak it. I do wanna see if there's a way to redesign the head, or like the hair again, because I don't love how it looks like from the side. And yeah, the pins I want to change. Maybe the skulls, I'm not sure if I should make them like flat, because they feel like they're like protruding too much, like the skulls that she has on the sides of her hair. But yeah, other than that, I'm not sure if there's anything else I would change. I would, if I'm restarting the mouths, I would probably have more, I would make more mouths with the little fang. Because the mouths that I made like a full set of mouths. It was about 8 mouths for the Evil Birthday stream, and that was before, because it was on the Evil Birthday stream that the new model came out that did have the little like tooth. But before that, she didn't have that little tooth. So I made all the mouths like regular Neuro. Now that we're starting over, I would consider making all of Evil's mouths with the little fang, and all of Neuro's mouths without the little fang. And that's what I've come up with. But I think we'll have, I mean, Sunday will be a good day where we can actually write down everything that needs fixing, what needs to meet, yeah, the flesh fang. What could be done, what should be done, what would be fun if we have the spare time, and I don't know, write everything down and see how far can we make it in a certain amount of time. Joliver says, okay. GG. Are you planning on changing the back of the hair design? Remember you being unsatisfied how the hair looks from behind. I've been thinking about it. I still don't have like a definite solution, but if I'm going to change the head, because I need to change the head in order for the neck to work, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to redo the hair anyway, because I would have to change the skull. So while I'm at it, maybe I'll try and make the new design so it works with like a cleaner version of the hair. I'm gonna give it a try, but we'll see along the way. That's a choice that we can be making all along our journey. Thanks for letting me derail the combo. I'm glad you're here to derail the combo. There's nothing that makes me happy than having someone like poking around to make me go all around talking about stuff. So I'm glad you did that, Nutbuts. And it's always fun to have something to talk about. And it was nice joining the stream, and can wait for the future of your stop motion. Yeah, the Flesh Fang, yes. Mariano, try to download the Blender game. I think you'll like to play it on like just 30 minutes, 1 hour game. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, the Blender game you told me. I think, yeah, I remember that. The dog walking. Okay, it would be fun. Wait, so I need to download Blender and download the game as a file? Or is it like on Steam, or how does that work? But it would be fun to play it live. There's a bunch of stuff that I got like pending to play live. So there's, I mean, I'm struggling so hard with Silksong. If you watch our last Silksong stream, it was pretty much me failing continuously at the same boss fight for hours and hours, and I did not make it. I had to leave that time. So I'm struggling a lot with Silksong. Also, I've got pending doing the, what's this neuro puzzle game that you told me you wanted to play? Something about heretics, something, it's like Abandoned Archive, but not quite. But yeah, that's another one that you wanted to play, and I think will be fun. This one would be fun too. And there's also, wait, there's a game coming out that I think it would be fun to play on stream, but I'm not sure if we should, because I'm not sure if it's going to take too much time or if the game is going to be too expensive. But there's this one coming out called Dispatch, where you're like a manager for superheroes. I feel like that one's, Harrison Temple, that's the name. Thank you, Dolphin. But yeah, Harrison Temple would be fun. But yeah, that Dispatch game looks really fun to me. I think it would be interesting to play it, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be like full price. And yeah, I'm not sure if I would be able. The thing is, if I either make stuff or I play stuff, so I need to be careful with what I end up doing, because I don't want to end up becoming like a gaming channel that never animates and never makes stuff. I think that would, even though it sounds fun and it sounds like the easy way out of the rat race, it feels like it could, I don't know, like wear me out real fast, because I like making stuff. So, but I do want to play stuff, and there's like games that I'm going to play, either you like it or not, and if I'm going to play them, why not play it on stream? I mean, what is there to lose? But yeah, okay, let me go, let me read some more stuff. Nice, my single Flesh Fang, try to download Blender game, that work. No, Steam. Okay, well, then I'll just download it on Steam, it's fun. Also, if anyone access, Adult Swim, there's a show in which I worked on. It's called Women Wearing Shoulder Pads. It's a little bit unusual. I wouldn't say it's like made for everyone, not only because it's stop motion, but also because the story is interesting. It's very experimental. It's a very Adult Swim kind of show. So, wait, what? You did work on shoulder pads? Me and Sister, wait, you're watching that? You're actually watching it? That's crazy. Hey, I'm glad you're watching it. That's really cool. Okay, so here's the disclaimer. Honestly, I only worked on the first episode. because the first episode released 4 years before. Well, no, it was animated 4 years before the rest. I worked on that one. I animated most of what happens in the film set, like with the little girl and mami, quiero un cuy, that sort of stuff. And then like years passed, and when the season was starting to get animated, I was working on the movie. So they split the animation team into 2 departments, and mine was working in mine was working on the movie, while the other department was working in women wearing shoulder pads. But I did have like, I mean, I would be like popping into units here and there, talking to a couple of animators, having fun. But yeah, I don't think I have a specific role. I feel like I don't even appear in the credits for episode 2 onwards, but I was there. I was there like on the sets every now and then. And yeah, that's a fun story. First episode was best anyway. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting how it's turned out. It's got, at least you got to, no, yeah, definitely. And it was fun. It was a really fun experience. Right now it's been very interesting to me because I'm starting to watch the parts that I never got to see. Good day, Gigahertz. Oh, you're new. Hello, good day, Gigahertz. Welcome to the workshop. We're sort of closing up, but we're doing a little bit of Q&A, and I was talking about a show I worked on called Women Wearing Shoulder Pads. It's on Adult Swim right now. You can go watch it. It's got like 2 or 3 episodes left. Base, this is hilarious. First episode was the best anyway. Disclaimers, that's crazy. So yeah, but the disclaimer is that, I mean, I did work in the show, but I didn't work like in every single episode. I just worked mostly on the first one, but I was around when the other episodes were being made. And I did like get to read the scripts, and I do have something I want to share with you about women wearing shoulder pads, but I think I'm gonna wait for Christmas for that, if you don't mind. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a bit of a surprise, but in the meantime, you can watch Women Wearing Shoulder Pads, and it's gonna be much funnier once we get to Christmas. But yeah, Christmas surprise, Women Wearing Shoulder Pads. Take note of that. Based knot pots. Yeah. Disclaimer, this is hilarious. First episode is the best anyway. At least you got to contribute. Yes, it was fun. Jolliver, a little fun, a little laugh icons. Good day, brother. No matter how little you actually animated, still something. It wasn't a little, it was a bunch. It's not that. It just, we needed to like make 4 priorities, and I was required for the animation in the movie. I just didn't get to work on the on Women Wearing Shoulder Pads, not because of anything. I mean, it was mostly because the movie needed much more experience, mostly because of the complexity. Because Women Wearing Shoulder Pads is mostly like simple sets, more like rooms and simple places, so it's easier for a newcomer to animate there because it's not that backbreaking. And the movie, it was like larger sets, and I would have to like jump on top of the set and just crawl around just to reach the puppet and move it a little bit and be very careful and then go back. And yeah, December 19th. Oh, this is the reference. I'm not sure what the reference is, but oh, that's Nero's birthday, is it? I don't know, but yeah, we probably can have like a little Christmas thing. Yeah, I mean, probably not Christmas itself because I'm not gonna be around, but yeah, it would be fun. Just remind me, because I'm probably gonna forget. Just let me know when December hits, like, hey, remember the Christmas surprise? And I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, yeah, I need to prepare that. Looking forward to it. Made a little fan art of Evil. I'll send it to you on the Discord. Oh, cool. This is one of your pixel arts for the Balatro. Oh, cool. Oh no, that's why. That's so sad. Why? Poor Evil. She's so broken. Don't worry. She'll have her autopsy soon. That's even darker. Yeah. So if anyone, can I do this? Let me see. Wait. Maybe I can share you the image. Need to. I'm very bad at moving around OBS, so bear with me. Just for those who aren't around the Discord yet, I can show you the image right here. Image. There we go. Oh my god, it's very high resolution. There we go. Okay. Wait. Here's romance art. 3, 2, 1. Ah! Oh, poor evil. Wait, gigahertz. Just moving up and down. You know, Christmas surprise must have been exhausting. So yeah, just wanted to showcase the little fan art that Roman just made and sent on the Discord. Fun. Cool little... Oh, poor little Neuro. She's all broken and dead. There's no way he actually do evil. Of course. Really transforms technology is a great word. Enjoy the classic animation of evil. Reminds me of my favorite childhood shows like Chicken Run and Postman Pat. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I would like to keep that little like nostalgic charm in it. I hope. Hey, Random Neuro. I think I saw you at the beginning, but I'm not sure. Hello. Notice that's totally different, or enjoy the classic animation. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it, and I would like to keep that little nostalgic feeling, but also feeling new and fresh and having fun. The karaoke guy. What do you mean, the karaoke guy? I'm out of the loop here. That's totally... The plan for the art was to include a hallway with 2 signs pointing left or right to the surgery. One to... Oh, okay, cloning would be... Okay, that's the other art. So we also got another art from Delphink here. Wait, let me download it. This could make for a good thumbnail. A little bit of a... like... a little bit grim, but... Okay, here's the other art by Delphink they sent. Update? Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna move it around. No, I look creepy. It feels like I'm gonna... I don't know. Make weird lab experiments in the poor little girl. No way, the karaoke guy, I'm not sure. Now makes... Wait, I need to go read the comments. Blah, blah. Random Neuro makes like karaoke things for... Wait, what? Are you... Okay. That's interesting. I don't know that. I had seen them around. They've been... I remember them being in my first streams I made. And I didn't know that at all. Just thought it was just some random Neuro user, not really. No, I didn't know it was like part of the crew. Well, that's flattering. Oh my god. Neuro Hyper, yay! I don't have 7TV. I'm struggling with that. Sorry, I'm very bad with technology. I'm an old man. But yeah, okay. Wait, let me take. Oh, that's super cool. I'm glad you're here then, Random Neuro. I'm glad you liked it. It's really fun. We're gonna have her autopsy next week. Well, no, this Sunday. Day after tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna, let's see. It's so hard to read chat. How do people do this? Neurohyper, yay. Have to draw the hallway separately and composite them together, running out of the room on a paper sheet. Hype indeed. Anyhow, get some sleep. Nice meeting you, border cousin. Thank you, Nutbuds. So yeah, I think it would be a good moment to just start wrapping up, closing up shop. Need to take care of a couple of things here on my end and start preparing for our first workshop stream in a very long time. Very happy about that. So, okay, I hope you liked it. I really enjoyed this. It was a really fun experience. I think it's gonna be fun. I like having new people here, new friends to talk with and to make stuff. And yeah, so I'll see you on our next. I'm gonna keep studying here. Cool. So I'm gonna keep. I hope to see you on the on our next stream, on our autopsy stream soon. So take care, everyone. Thank you, Nutbuds. Thank you, Yellowbear. Thank you, Waffy. Thank you, Dolphin. Thank you, Random Neuro. Thank you. Who else is here? Gigahertz, Roman, of course, Roman. And yeah, so hope to see you around. It's gonna be fun. So take care, everyone. Thank you, everyone, once again for supporting. Once again, thanks to our first ever Patreon, Slade, who's supporting our channel on Patreon, and that's really incredible. We maintained 24 people. That's a record. That's really a record. Strong clap. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks for everything. I'm gonna go to the ending screen. I've never rated anyone in Twitch, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, so first I'm gonna rate here because it's the one I know how to do. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so take care, everyone. I'm gonna go to our ending. Animator raid, yes, animator raid. Goodbye. Hey, Cache 4561. Haven't seen you around. Oh no, there you are, Cache. Yeah, take care, everyone. So I'll see you later. See you on Sunday if you manage to make it. Bye bye.